Quick decision by Beamer to take the ball.
Sean Glennon played very well coming off the bench last week against Duke.
But he had time in that game, too.
Yeah, he did.
You know what? There wasn't pressure in his face, and he made nice decisions. Question whether or not Virginia Tech's offensive line can hold up and give him the time to throw the football.
The 5-yard penalty moves the ball to the 42-yard line. First snap for the Hokies. Brandon Orr, the setback. Glennon in the shotgun. Now flag on the kickoff, and now whistle before the first play. Glennon, a guy that said has won 11 games as a starter, trying to apply a new attitude on his return to the starting lineup.
Please reset the 25-second clock and start on the signal, please.
Glennon, the opening day starter, threw an interception. His very first pass attempt against East Carolina, didn't play well, was overwhelmed along with the rest of the team down at LSU, and lost his starting job at that point. Tonight back because of the injury. They'll hand it off to Royal on a reverse, and a very short gain. Let's meet Virginia Tech offense and new starting quarterback Sean Glennon, sponsored by Monster.com.
He's the starting lineup for tonight's Hokie offense. The big boys up front are led by left tackle Dwayne Brown and center Ryan Schumann. At the skill positions, we got a great group of senior receivers, highlighted by split end Josh Morgan and flanker and fellow Westfield High alumni Eddie Royal. In the backfield, we have 28 B. Orr.
Good execution. They tell me Glennon did it in one take.
Quarterback.
No gain on first down. Glennon to throw. Wanted Orr in the flats. Now turns it up. Short gain. All right, Red Sox fans, part of the sports landscape, of course. Closer Jonathan Papelbon intercepted the defense.
Up front, Ron Brace clogs the middle, flanked by senior Nick Larkin, senior captain Jolon Dunbar, a force in the middle, and Jamie Silva, and lockdown corner DeJuan Tribble man the secondary with a combined 9 interceptions.
Good job by the closer. Didn't need him in game 1, did they? That's another story. First third down of the night for the Hokies. They need 6. Glennon looks left, runs out of time, and now throws the ball into traffic, incomplete. Nick Larkin off the edge, pressuring Glennon. They'll punt.
And that's not a great sign for Virginia Tech. That was a 3-man rush, and Ed Wang, their right tackle, who they're happy to have back, is the guy that's going to get beat. The right tackle, 77, gets beat right away on the inside by Nick Larkin, and Glennon smartly gets rid of the football to avoid the sack.
And Wang is a player that they believe getting back now really healthy with reps brings them the best offensive line they have.
So Brett Bowden to kick it away. Hokies do nothing with the good opening field position. And the flag's flying on the return. Knocked out of bounds is DeJuan Tribble on the near sidelines. 41-yard punt. Check the flag after the 8-yard return. Andre Smith on the stop. And that'll back up Jagodzinski's offense in the first possession. How will these teams respond to the rain? Biggest concern for a quarterback, Todd, when it's raining hard now.
Well, the first thing is getting the snap. You got to make sure you secure the snap. As long as they keep the balls fairly dry, and Matt Ryan has a big hand, so I'm not worried about him hanging on to the football, but you got to get that snap first, and then you don't squeeze the ball quite as hard when you throw it when it's a wet ball. Take a little bit off your grip.
And the BC's goals in this game here, 2 things: no big plays in special teams and no turnovers. Yeah. So if you're a ball carrier receiver, squeeze the football.
Andre Callender gets the start at tailback. He's been the featured back this season to the left of Ryan. Ryan Purvis, the tight end, in motion, and Callender has the carry. Muscles forward for about 4, and Papelbon is back to intercede the Eagles offense.
The offensive line is led by the big man Gajer Sherilis, a local kid out of Somerville, Mass. And true freshman Anthony Costanzo. Heisman candidate Matt Ryan leads the offense and gets tough yards from a running back Andre Callender and big plays from a wide receiver Brandon Robinson.
Costanzo's the first true freshman to start an offensive line at BC in 10 years. We'll keep a close eye on him tonight against that Hokie pass rush. Ryan not sacked at all in last year's victory over the Hokies. Second down pass broken up at the line of scrimmage. That was Chris Ellis off the edge. There's Macho Harris. Introduce you to his teammates on defense.
Hey, here's your Hokie defense. Starting with the defensive line, led by sack master Chris Ellis, and in the middle, veteran linebacker Xavier Hammer Adibi, and in the secondary, joining me, my partner in crime, Brandon Flowers, with our captain of our defense, DJ Parker, and the young star, Cam Chancellor.
Real name Victor, but he prefers Macho.
This is one of the key matchups in the game. Third down, BC #1 in the conference. Third down offense, Virginia Tech #1 on defense. Matt Ryan doesn't like what he sees.
Yeah, the Eagles converting side 46% on third down, thanks in large part to number 12, who wants to clear up the signals before this first key play.
Think it's time I told my little bro my rules to live by.
Rules?
Yeah. 1, real men do not own lap dogs. 2, never date girls with dragon tattoos. And see, this is the biggie, always, always get chili on your nachos Belgrande.
Walk your dog.
New chili cheese nachos Belgrande, only at Taco Bell.
What if we took a moment to rethink our priorities? What if we rethink power and what it means to be strong? What if we rethink beauty and what it means to truly interact? What if we took the time to realize that our neighborhood is actually much bigger than we think? At Saturn, we chose to rethink things. That's what makes us who we are, who we've always been. We chose to create 2 of the most affordable hybrids in the country, making it much easier to drive responsibly. We rethought what it means to be protected by offering a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on all of our vehicles. We even rethought every car we sell, now offering 5 totally new models. Yeah, we may just be a car company, but we're rethinking what a car company can be. Just something to rethink about.
Are these numbers right?
Yes.
Do you know what this means? It means we have doubled in the last 6 months. It means we're gonna have to hire more people, move into a bigger space to get those key card things. We'll need to order a lot more wood. What if this continues?
Dave, isn't that kind of the idea?
Citibank Business Banking. Whatever your growing business needs, Citibank's there with guidance and customized solutions to help your business thrive. Come to Citi and let's get it done.
The Breeders' Cup World Championships, the richest event in sports, capped by a star-studded classic featuring street sense and curling. The Breeders' Cup begins Friday at 4 p.m. on ESPN2.
Come cheer on your favorite contenders as the final 2 battle it out to determine who will be the next contender champion. The contender finale live November 6th from the TD Bank North Garden in Boston. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com, the Boston Garden box office, or call 617-931-2000.
Welcome back to Blacksburg, Virginia. Well, they need rain here. They got it. It has been raining this hard for about 48 hours. Our crew we got here yesterday was raining this hard. We were driving around in it. Now this is the hardest. It has been raining all game long. Even in practice, it was coming down pretty good, guys. This is pretty darn hard.
See if they have a hard time converting on 3rd and 6. It's Ryan Purvis, the tight end, fighting up toward that yellow line. Barry Booker, the defensive tackle, making contact.
You know, this is a game really where you talk about the weather and the impact that it can have on both football teams. But now here we are, first special teams Beamer ball opportunity.
Well, they made it. They got it by second effort. They got it. But you're right. That is going to be a factor in the wet weather when it comes up.
And so it's always in your mind. You know, that's Boston College #1 thing. Don't give them a short field and don't allow the Beamer ball to happen.
Absolutely.
That's Purvis in motion. Callender with the carry. Tough sledding. Brandon Flowers off the corner to make the stop.
Callender was really the big guy in their last game, the win over Notre Dame. I mean, he had 10 catches in the game for over 90 yards, also ran for 90-plus yards, and he's kind of become more of the feature back in this Boston College offense instead of sharing that time with Whitworth.
I think he's the key guy in the offense. I really do. I think he's the go-to guy for Matt Ryan, whether it's a handoff or in the flat or down the field.
About 26 passes on the season. That's 10 of them coming against the Irish. Rich Gunnell in motion. Pump fake from Ryan. Pickens screen, batted in the air, and almost intercepted. Barry Booker on the pass rush got his hand on it. And Ryan living dangerously in the early going.
Well, they did try to set up a screen. It was covered. He had nowhere to go with the football, and he really didn't know where to throw it away. He's looking for a place to get rid of it, and he dangerously kind of tossed it weakly back towards the middle.
Tuesday at football practice, we watched them, Todd, how they really focused on the screens. Boston College loves the screen, and Virginia Tech tonight on defense is looking for it.
Said the Eagles are a great team on third down. Not so much at this down and distance, 3rd and 8. Ryan hit as he throws.
Now they're calling it incomplete.
Yeah, the late signal, and they have gotten the pass rush on Ryan. It was not hit all last year's game at all.
One of the things that Bud Foster wanted to try was some different wrinkles. This is a 4-man rush, but they came from a different spot. Chris Ellis came inside. He doesn't get the pressure, but that little move on the inside freed up the outside rush. And when they called it incomplete, it made it a non-reviewable play for the referee.
Here's that Beamer ball, the situation Boston College was trying to avoid on a short field.
Johnny Ayers is an excellent punter, averages 41 yards. We'll see if he kicks it away from the dangerous return man Royal.
Great kick. Wow.
He booms it out of bounds and deep, and Royal no chance on that one, and the Hokies will have the ball at about their 36, 37-yard line. 53 yards in the first punt for Ayers.
This ain't a lunch table, baby. This is a lunch table full of the flavors that bring people together. Applebee's new Pick and Pair lunch combos. Over 60 combinations starting at $5.99. Applebee's. Get it together, baby.
What if we took a moment to rethink our priorities? What if we rethink power and what it means to be strong? What if we rethink beauty and what it means to truly interact? At Saturn, we chose to rethink things, starting with every car we sell, with 5 totally new models and 2 of the most affordable hybrids in the country. We may just be a car company, but we're rethinking what a car company can be. Just something to rethink about.
Transformers is the #1 DVD in America. Get it today.
My name is Optimus Prime.
And experience the biggest, baddest DVD event of the year.
I'm not gonna leave you. It's you and me.
Transformers. Own it today on DVD.
The new Dell Inspiron 1520, powered by Intel Centrino Duo processor technology. Dell, yours is here.
Carl Edwards of Team Dish All-Stars wins again.
Look at the excitement down on the track. Carl's flipping over the incredible HD offer from Dish Network.
That's right, Jerry. Team Dish All-Stars can't stop celebrating the best deal in HD.
Get the best racing action with Dish Network and over 100 of the hottest channels for only $29.99 a month. Plus, get 6 free months of Dish HD and a free HD DVR upgrade. Call today and save up to $800 instantly on a Sharp Aquos HD LCD TV. Get the best sports and movies in HD with Dish Network.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar, eating good in the neighborhood. And in part by Saturn, with 5 totally new models. It's just something to rethink about. Saturn.
Yesterday's pep rally at Castle Coliseum. Of course, the school spirit here, the sense of unity at Virginia Tech. Very much on display in the last 5 or 6 months. Never stronger And they're counting on all that, all the intangibles tonight, including this wet weather, to slow down Matt Ryan and BC. So far, so good. Second possession for the Hokies at their 25-yard line. And they hand it off. And breaking free.
You know, that's Sean Glennon. That's the offense they run with Tyrod Taylor, the zone read. And Brian Steinspring, the offensive coordinator, said, we're not going to reinvent our offense because Tyrod's not playing. That's what we do now. We run the zone read, and if Sean's running it, we'll let him run it.
Well, Boston College is expecting, though, to have a balanced offense.
Right.
Remember, Spaz told us, defensive coordinator at BC, we're going to prepare for either quarterback and for their system.
Nice pickup on first down, 2nd and 2. Play action. Glennon has a man open. High throw off the hands of Josh Hyman. Glennon knocked down.
Glennon's pass intended for 19, Josh Hyman. Number 27, Ron Truman.
Yeah, there's Tyrod Taylor, and we watched him in practice on Tuesday, just real ginger with his walk even, and not ready. A wet field like this just is not the right situation.
Well, and for a dual threat quarterback like he is, I mean, you don't gain anything by playing him in a game like this because his most valuable asset right now at this point in his development as a quarterback is taken away with that injury.
Frustrating for Beamer, though. They made the change for the Ohio University game, hoping to have the true freshman ready for the stretch run. Now, this is the stretch run, and he has to sit out. On 3rd and short, this is Brandon Orr. Makes a little move, gets a first down near the 40, and this is the 90th ranked rushing offense in the country. Just a shocking stat for this traditional power running program.
Well, this was a great lead block by Nick Marshman. Number 67 is going to lead Orr. Nick Marshman was starting at right tackle earlier in the year, but with Wang coming back, they moved him back to guard. Did a nice job of getting out in front of Orr.
And guard is the right position for Marshman.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a bigger, slower guy, doesn't play well in open space necessarily, so that's why they think they have the right combination or their best combination up front now.
Now they're hoping that running game will finally click tonight with that group together. Royal comes in motion. Quick handoff up the ball's on the ground and a scramble. Eagles signaling their football. No. The Hokies fall on it. It's Orr at the bottom of the pile.
Last year up in Boston, 22-3 win by Boston College. 4 turnovers by Virginia Tech. None for Boston College in that game. A lot of statistics don't mean a lot in football, but turnover margin just about all the time tells the story.
Absolutely. They had 4 turnovers, gave up 3 sacks. BC's offense didn't do a lot, but Virginia Tech really self-destructed that night. A lot of determination to redeem themselves a year later against the same team. On 2nd and 10, Glennon back. Looks long. Fires to Royal. Double coverage. Incomplete. Royal had a chance, went up against Marcellus Bowman, and Dewan Tribble couldn't hold on.
Eddie Royal is a guy that can really stretch most any defense in the country, and it really shows you something here, Todd, that they're going to push Boston College. They do not want to play in a 15-yard box.
No, they want to stretch them. They want to make them make plays. Now, this is double coverage. You say, quarterback, don't throw into double coverage, but Royal actually had his hands on the football, but Bowman stayed with it to the very end and was able to strip it out as they were going to the ground.
Bowman, the backup strong safety, the sophomore. 3rd and 10. An area in which the Hokies have really struggled this season. Glennon, good protection, fires left side. It's a low throw, caught but short of first down yardage by Justin Harper. So a 7-yard gain, but they needed 10 and a punt.
Here's on the 4th down and 3 for the Hokies.
You can see the game plan with Glennon back in there. It's going to be throwing the football.
Yeah. More throwing. Try to run creatively. We've seen a couple like end sweeps, some reverse type looking plays. Try to create some running room and let Sean Glennon try to make some plays down the field.
Dewan Tribble, one of the many Cincinnati guys on this BC team, back to receive the punt from Bowden. And Bowden hits a very low line drive that will roll dead inside the 14. So an effective but ugly 40-yard punt.
Everybody likes to have a 1-5 hang time on a punt every now and then.
Well, you talked about the beat down at BC last year. It was 22-3, an embarrassing night for Frank Beamer. Ryan not pressured, turnovers all over the place here, setting up the Hokie defense in a bad position. Matt Ryan passing for a couple of touchdowns to Challenger. 22-3. That was the game that Matt Ryan suffered a broken foot, played the last 2.5 months of the season on that broken foot. He's healthy finally in 2007. And the delayed handoff. This is L.V. Whitworth spinning, fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, nice play by Chris Ellis, their athletic defensive end, number 49. He got into the backfield so quickly that it forced Whitworth to come underneath.
Right now, I get the feeling Boston College's offensive line has not seen this kind of speed up front that they're getting with Virginia Tech tonight.
And the key to this game, really, for Virginia Tech is to change the line of scrimmage. Their whole deal defensively is to press the line of scrimmage and to make plays across the neutral zone. So far, they're able to do it.
2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle, and this is Callender breaking for about an 8-yard gain. BC, the weirdest schedule in the country. They began with 3 conference games, won them all, and then a 4-game non-conference swing. They haven't played an ACC game in about 6 weeks.
That's really strange. And you know, in a hard way for Boston College to start. They open with the defending ACC champs, Wake Forest. Then they play their ex-coach, Tom O'Brien, the 2nd game. Then they go on the road and play Georgia Tech. And great way to start the season, but you're right. First time back in the conference in over a month.
Callender, the setback on 3rd and 2. Ryan will throw. And he's going to lob it high for the tight end, almost intercepted. Another risky throw as Cam Chancellor, the rover, had roved right into the area of the tight end.
Making the right decision is something that's critical for Matt Ryan in this offense right now. And this defense, we saw the drop, the bailouts. They're going to change the looks up front for Virginia Tech all the time. And Ryan really struggling here early.
1 of 5 for just 6 yards in the early going. And he has been pressured. And the Eagles not trying to run the ball on 3rd and 2. Come up empty, another punt. Johnny Ayers 53 yards on his first punt. Royal hoping he gets a chance. Do get the punt away, and a flag down as Ayers is knocked to the ground.
Boy, another great punt, too. Unbelievable directional kicking by Ayers.
Stephen Virgil, number 22, and that punt block team got in there, and that'll result in a first down for the Eagles.
Costly mistake. Penalties really hurt them last year in the loss to BC. They're going after it, but you just got to turn off. I mean, when you see he's gotten rid of the ball and it's off his foot, move away. But even under that duress, he kicked the ball 64 yards to the sideline, negating any kind of a possible return.
You know, when you talk about Beamer ball and all of the block kicks they've had through Beamer's era, and you watch practice and you see the tempo with which they practice on special teams, it is full speed. There's no lollygagging about it. And so, you know, when you're coming after a punter like that, and they work on it, but it's a slick carpet. You can't quite stop up and quit as usually would on a dry carpet.
But you got to be smart. I mean, and you know, Virginia Tech knows their crowd feeds off of special teams plays and defensive plays, and looking to get one there, but they made a mistake.
See if Ryan can get going after the slow start now. Callender, not much there. Once again, Chris Ellis off the edge, disrupting the play. Helped out by Carlton Powell and Ryan Martin.
There's a freshman playing right tackle at Boston College, Costanzo. Good-looking guy, you know, watch him in film, but I'm telling you right now, the speed on that right side, they're going to have to do something to help him out.
He is a freshman. He's 6'7". He's a tall, rangy guy, has great feet, but he's a little undersized, probably about 265 pounds right now, and he's going against one of the top defensive linemen in this league in Chris Ellis.
Ryan on 2nd and 11. Fires over the middle, wide open. Pass caught. It's Justin Jarvis, and he has a first down, a 14-yard gain to the 40. Boston College beat Wake Forest, so that's really a game and a half lead in the Atlantic Division. They could lose this game tonight and still control their destiny. Of course, they're thinking about even bigger goals in the ACC right now. Virginia and Virginia Tech in command of the Coastal. Of course, Miami hoping that the Eagles can knock off Tech tonight.
Corner blitz.
On first down, Ryan gets it out of there, and short completion. And it's Clarence Megwa, the young receiver, 5-yard gain.
Now, right there, that play doesn't look like a whole lot, but that's what NFL guys see. Number one, he knows the corner blitz is coming from his left, and he's on the left hash and throws an out to the right sideline. Watch him. He knows the pressure's coming. He's got to get rid of it quick. That's a hard throw. Left hash, right sideline, out pattern. You better throw that on the road.
Second and 5. Callender tries to cut it back. It's tough sledding against the left side of that Hokies defensive line. Carlton Powell, senior from Chesapeake, Virginia, on the stop.
And you talk about Ryan and that throw, and keep in mind this is a rainy, soggy surface, you know, and his accuracy and decision making in watching the film is unbelievable.
Yeah, he is. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. He doesn't hold it too long. That's why he's hard to get to. Now, Virginia Tech has gotten to him with some pressure. Last third down, they went 3-man rush, and he stood back there and made a big throw.
Hokies sub in 3 fresh bodies on the defensive line on this 3rd and 4. Ryan flips it short, caught, fighting near first down yardages. Callender, I don't think he's got it. Needed to make the 50. And they'll spot it a yard short. It'll be 4th down. Xavier Adibi, the active inside linebacker, the senior, their best defensive player, with his running mate Vince Hall out injured on the stop.
Coach Jagosinski, now that he's got that number 2 bullseye on his chest, we've seen some other highly ranked ball clubs take some chances on 4th down.
Well, this is smart, though. This kind of weather on the road.
Les Miles will go for this.
Yeah, he might. But he's got to feel like his defense can handle Virginia Tech's offense right now. They're not threatened by Virginia Tech's offense.
Hokies don't really come after this punt, and Royal lets it go over his head, and it'll roll right near the 1.
Remember, the man can go into the end zone as long as the ball doesn't break the plane of the end zone. It's okay if the player's in the end zone.
Great job. Razzie Smith got down there to get a hand on it, and look at the field position for Virginia Tech on a nasty night in Lane Stadium. Wow.
They say your lands are cursed. I will kill your monster.
Are you the one they call Beowulf? Stay with me.
I visited this horror upon my kingdom. I must be the one to finish her.
From Academy Award-winning director Robert Zemeckis. Beowulf, rated PG-13, in theaters everywhere November 16.
Everything, even the kitchen sink, with a Security Bank home equity line of credit. They were so nice, and it's as simple as writing a check. I have instant access to my money, so I can take advantage of great deals like the one I got on these adorable accessories. Now I just need a few cooking lessons. This is my new kitchen. That's my bank. Security Bank, member FDIC.
The Golf Channel's on Comcast. And with Comcast, you can get the Golf Channel anytime you want it, any way you want it. See the PGA Tour's best in stunning quality with Comcast High Definition. It's the closest thing to being there. Watch Golf Channel programming on your schedule with Channel 1 on demand from Comcast. And with Comcast high-speed internet, you can enjoy news, analysis, tips, shows, and more at blazing fast speeds on the fan at Comcast.net. It's the best of Golf Channel on Comcast. For more information, call 1-800-COMCAST or visit Comcast.com/sports today.
This game being broadcast on ESPN HD, presented by Pioneer Kuro. Get a good test of high definition as they review the spot of the football. The ruling that the ball did not break the plane and the spotting of the ball inside the 1-yard line. If the ball did break the plane, Hokies will gain field position. What do you guys think? Here's the blown up view of it.
I don't think it's conclusive. I mean, you can make a little bit of an assumption there that it maybe did, but I don't think there's anything conclusive.
I don't think it broke the plane. I think it was a great call and well executed. And again, with weather like this and conditions like this, you have to play field position. Your defense has played as well as they've played this season. Play field position. Try to get Matt Ryan a short field on his next possession.
Good job by him. Robert Francois not to knock that ball in the end zone, but cradle it at the 1-foot line, and a quarterback sneak from Glennon on first down, and they get a pretty good push. Glennon out near the 5.
Well, I guess you know what, if they want anything, they'd like to go forward and get bunched up in a little diamond formation.
As their first noise there, they cut the defense off guard maybe. I'd take 4 yards on quarterback sneak anytime.
Well, they're averaging 3.3 coming into the game, so if you get 4 on the quarterback sneak, I might run it again.
3.3 per rush this season is not a Hokie-like number, that's for sure. Lennon looking to throw. He'll tuck it, and he'll be knocked out of bounds across the 5.
See, right now Eddie Royal's telling Sean Glennon, I mean, I think he had Royal, but he's just got to make that decision just a hair quicker. He rolls out, he gets his shoulders turned, got to get rid of that football. He waited a little too long.
But you know, as a quarterback, Todd, that takes confidence. Yeah. And you know, here's a guy that is feeling his way back into this lineup, and he knows probably that there are a lot of teammates thinking Tyrod Taylor was the guy, but he's got to make the throw.
Ugly numbers. The NCAA ranked 90th on the ground, 101st passing, and 112 in total yards per game. And yet they're number 8 in the BCS. 3rd and 5. Play action. They'll throw it in the flat, too high. Sneaking out was Carlton Weatherford, the fullback. Glennon delivered it too high, and they'll punt. Najee Morris pressuring him off the corner.
It's kind of a short yardage play, you know, out of the I formation, show, run, and slip the fullback out. And if he'd have got that throw down, Weatherford would have had the first down and a new set of downs for Virginia Tech.
Bowden backed up near the end line on the punt again. Pretty good punting duel so far in the first quarter. And another low kick. Tribble fields it inside the 40, hit immediately. Excellent coverage by Virginia Tech, but outstanding field position. Brandon Dillard on the stop, just 34 yards. Well, we talked about this being a very exciting time for Boston sports fans. The Red Sox 3 wins away from the World Championship. The Patriots just crushing people. They are taking notice of BC, but hey, it's a crowded landscape. A lot of excitement about the Celtics. There's a lot of college teams in the city of Boston that kind of divide the loyalties there.
Well, I can kind of speak to you know, experience there, but in the 80s, the Patriots, we were kind of second fiddle a little bit. I mean, you had the Red Sox and the Celtics, and they were doing their thing, but you have to understand, share the love. Yeah. That's what they do there.
And they'll take notice if BC gets out here with a win and continues on the national title. Billy Flutie fires, almost intercepted. Doug Flutie's nephew, the redshirt freshman receiver / quarterback, came around the corner, and Davon Morgan almost with a pick.
Well, you've already brought up about the speed of this defense. Here's a case where another guy waits too long to throw the ball. Flutie's got to throw it right now. He waited, then he lofted it, and that one almost was picked off.
I'm giggling because what would Doug Flutie watches his nephew play, and he marks everything, and he'll be like, man, Billy, don't do that.
Doug up in Canada, again being inducted into the Canadian Hall of Fame, but he'll hear about that one. Ryan drops way back and trying to get it to Callender, who tripped over an offensive lineman, and the screen breaks down. The screens have not worked in the early going for the Eagles at all.
Not when you're aware of it. You know, when the defense is coached up, you know you're looking for screens. They like to run them. They're going to be looking.
Yeah, they are looking. I mean, you know, Bud Foster, this isn't his first rodeo. He's been around the block a few times. He knows what this team wants to do, and it's been 12 days since they've played. Extra preparation time to watch and study everything that BC's been doing.
Foster worked against Steve Logan, who's calling the plays for the Eagles. They go way back. Lockenhorns, when Logan was at East Carolina.
Here's that 3-man look, but a 4-man rush.
And 3rd and 10. Ryan flips it short, bobbled and dropped by L.V. Whitworth. Had nowhere to go anyway.
They're going to squat underneath. This is a defense that's looking for Callender and Whitworth out of the backfield. They're not dummies. They've been watching films too. You know, I mean, they understand this a very safe blanket for him.
Well, and Steve Logan told us that, you know, my big question early in this game is what are they going to do about number 32? How are they going to cover Callender? Because he was a big weapon for us last week. Well, I think he's got his answer. They're going to pay a lot of attention to 32.
Great field position squandered. 3 incompletions, and now Ayers on the punt again. Two on the play clock, and they'll take the penalty to back up Ayers and give him more room at a pooch attempt.
Well, the guy's 53, 64. You know, he needs a little more room to work with.
You talk to folks who watch BC, and they'll say, yeah, Matt Ryan's a great player. Jolon Dunbar, our linebacker, he's an outstanding guy. But very near the top of the list of Eagles who played great this season, Johnny Ayers, the senior, and Jagosinski right there praising his guy.
Yeah. Well, he's done a great job tonight under bad weather conditions.
He's a two-sport guy, also plays baseball for the Eagles.
You know, this is weird. On this play, they brought in a whole new group to play punt defense here. An entire new 11 for Virginia Tech.
There's no fake. Ayers just boots it high. Royal takes a look at it. Doesn't field it again, and one more time. Eagle coverage team will down it inside the 10.
You know, a little confused on that Boston College defensive lineup. We need to go back and really re-examine that lineup.
That defensive lineup?
You guys know you can't do this broadcast without me, and tonight I can say we as many times as I want. We have Alex Albright at defensive end having a great year, Jolon Dunbar at linebacker, a big playmaker, and in the secondary, Jamie Silva has 5 interceptions, and he'll knock your block off.
You are allowed to say we. He's also wearing the Red Sox hat.
So. Way to go, Flutie man.
True Massachusetts guy. Doug wouldn't know what to make of this defensive struggle here in the first quarter so far. Or hit after a short gain.
You know, a lot of people wondering, you know, this number that Boston College defense has, 46 yards a game they're giving up rushing on run defense. How good are they? What makes them a good run defense? I've seen it already tonight. They play with leverage. They're in the right spots. They get to the right gaps, and they keep their outside leg and arm free on any kind of outside runs.
Which really puts the pressure on Virginia Tech's offensive line. You know, we watched it in film. We feel like this is a group that's going to have to really push the pile and find the right guy.
Lennon, short completion. Greg Boone, the tight end, muscles for a first down up near the 24. 13-yard gain.
Tuesday afternoon, Boone takes off. He's on a long reception, and it goes clank, clank off his hands. He said, all right, Boone, you're going underneath, young man. We're not throwing the ball deep to you anymore. Good safety cushion for him.
Yeah, well, how about this guy? 6'3", 291. He was a high school quarterback. I don't know how you get to be 291 as a high school quarterback.
Those days, hadn't he? 291? He's known as their better blocking tight end. Sam Wheeler, we'll see, as a pass catcher. Straight ahead handoff to Brandon Orr. We talked about his struggles at home this summer. Was not part of the offseason conditioning, nicked up, and just really has not been able to get on track. Here's a guy that has more than 2,100 career rushing yards, but just in his junior season, 3.3 a carry. They're waiting for him to have a breakout game.
You can see it in film. Sometimes he's 100%, sometimes he's 50%. He's got to become more consistent every play and go hard.
The running back coach, Billy Height, thought this was the best week of practice he's had all season. They need him big time.
Lennon fires far side off the hands of Hyman.
And what Sean Glennon's got to really try to do is stay on top of the ball a little bit more. When the ball's wet, receivers, they want that ball down around their chest where they can use their body if they need to. A couple high throws we've seen from Sean Glennon here in the first quarter. Hard to handle the wet football.
Both quarterbacks struggling. Glennon says that Matt Ryan, one of the guys that he admires most in college football, perhaps his favorite college quarterback for his toughness and perseverance and how he has the mental aspect of the game. Perfect command. 3rd and 7. Lennon fires short. Good completion, and Royal, room to run, ducks up near the 50-yard line. He beat the safety, Paul Anderson. That was an authoritative throw for number 7.
Well, and I was just getting ready to say, don't work so much the outline, the sidelines. It looks like that right now, at least Glennon feels more comfortable in the middle of the field.
Well, he looks pretty good in the pocket on this one. He stays in there, he gets good protection, and he stays up on top of the ball, and that keeps that nose down right into Eddie Royal for the completion. And you see Eddie Royal wanted to use that body just to secure the catch for the first down.
And want to get Eddie Royal as many touches as they can, the senior from Herndon. He's run the ball already once tonight for no gain. That's his first catch. Josh Morgan in motion, and Morgan takes the handoff, being chased on the far sidelines and forced out for a loss. Alex Albright, the left end, staying at home. Good one Saturday night, where they also expect rain in Happy Valley. The Buckeyes, can they survive the visit to Penn State, where they've lost 5 of 7? Will they get out of there undefeated at #1 against Joe Papa's team? ABC primetime, 8 Eastern, presented by Southwest Airlines. College Game Day coming to you from State College on Saturday morning.
Kind of wish I was going up there with you.
Now you're invited.
I got to work Saturday, too.
It'll be a good one in Tennessee. You've got the Gamecocks in there. Glennon on 2nd and 14. Has lots of time. Now tucks it. And he'll get back about 4 of those yards. Albright on the stop. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, that is a big game, though, at Happy Valley. You know, obviously, Ohio State sitting up there at the top of the heap. Penn State, I was impressed last week with Penn State. I know they gave up a lot of points, but the fact that they won the game.
Yeah. The only thing I was a little concerned about was they didn't score touchdowns in the red zone when they got the turnovers, and they're going to need touchdowns to beat Ohio State.
Right here, 15 minutes in the book. It's a scoreless stalemate. Eagles with 43 yards, Hokies with 69 in the first quarter.
The Packers battle the Broncos at 8 Eastern on ESPN Monday Night Football.
Buy my new game.
Dad, buy me this new video game. Krusty said you have to.
Video games are so fake. How can you die 1,000,000 times and still be okay?
Want a health pack?
Okay, you can have the game.
Sweet.
I still say games are fake. Hey,
The Simpsons game. Rated T for teen.
There are many ifs in your family's life. If your kids can go onward and upward no matter what. If you get sidelined from work. Ensuring your family's ifs can be hard to figure out. So MetLife removed the guesswork. By packaging the insurances families need most, term life and disability, we've created a comfortable safety net that's filled with promises and bursting with guarantees for the if in life. Call for this surprisingly affordable insurance package from MetLife.
There are some crazy blades out there, so reach for the ultimate balm. Replenishing aftershave balm with Care Protect soothes and repairs the damage from shaving. Only from Nivea for Men.
Trip, drain, draft and drink. Innovative. Draft and Heineken.
Think it's time I told my little bro my rules to live by.
Rules?
Yeah. 1. Real men do not own lap dogs. 2. Never date girls with dragon tattoos. And see, this is the biggie. Always, always get chili on your nachos Belgrande.
Walk your dog.
New chili cheese nachos Belgrande, only at Taco Bell.
Number 2 visiting number 8 in a rainy night in Lane Stadium. The old-fashioned field position football games in the first quarter, scoreless. And now the Hokies, who've moved the ball 39 yards out from the shadow of the goalpost, face a 3rd and 10. Lennon still got it. And he's got some room. And he's got a first down. Sean Glennon shows that he may not be Tyrod Taylor, but he's got decent wheels, picks up 12.
And a nice decision to run the football. He's done it a couple times tonight. 3-man rush by Boston College, which means they drop 8 into coverage, try to make Sean Glennon read the field. And he's going to pick up a nice block from Sergio Render. Actually, that's number 76. Dwayne Brown gets a little bit of a block, enough to get him the first down at the end.
And that type of play really will cause concern for Spaziano and Boston College. They're going to have to be more aware of it. Not just Eddie Royal running across the middle and picking him up with linebackers.
Look at that, 33 yards rushing for their quarterback that wasn't supposed to be the good runner of the 2. Most promising drive for either team so far tonight, or just kind of a slow start. Picks up about 1.5 yards. Ron Brace on the stop along with Hersley.
When you study the breakdown in the running game at Virginia Tech, you just see that sometimes they're not together. One guy, one lineman, not getting the right push or the right footwork.
Well, offensive line play is all about cohesion. It's all about chemistry and 5 guys working together. And you mentioned it. This is just the 2nd week since spring ball that they've had the combination up front of the 5 guys that they think is their best combination.
And they're facing, of course, the statistical #1 rushing defense in the country, Boston College. Lennon pitches it to Orr. Orr gets a block on the edge, lowers the head, and it's down near the 30. I don't think even Frank Spaziani, the defensive coordinator, thinks that he's got the best running defense in the country. It's a function of the opponents they played and the way the games have gone, with BC playing with the lead a lot of times. They're giving up a lot of passing yards, but they're still pretty stout against the run, and they have been pretty much over the last decade.
Well, and they're solid. I mean, they don't have flashy guys on defense, but they're smart. They get in the right spots, and they're good tacklers. And I talked to Spaz before the game. He was up here in the box wandering around, and he said, you know, these guys have rope-a-doped us a lot of times in the past. Last year we stopped their run pretty good, but I'm still concerned.
3rd and 2. Orr slams over the right side and has a first down. The 11th play of the drive, and the Hokies are moving.
Here's the cohesion and the work that we're talking about. Greg Boone, the tight end, number 8, the right tackle. Watch the push. You see the push, you see the lane. Execution.
Yep. Sam Wheeler, number 83, the other tight end, also did a nice job keeping his man outside. And again, this offensive line, the more they can work together, the better that they hope the overall running game will be.
See 2 tight ends on the right side of the formation on first down. Play action. Lennon fires short, near side. And Wheeler is the better receiver among the tight ends. Short gain. So Glennon's starting to gain some confidence.
Yeah, he looks better. I mean, you just watch his body language, even checking off running plays at the line of scrimmage. He looks like he has a little swagger to him right now.
No mystery to it. You have a quarterback scramble for a big gain. You get the sweep to the outside. You get the conversion on a running play. It's going to open up the play action.
Plus, he hit the big 3rd down play, the nice throw to Royal earlier in the drive.
High formation on 2nd and 5. Royal comes in motion. Orr hit immediately. Hammered by Emmett Scafey, who shed his block.
They weren't sure Scafey was even going to be able to play tonight. He'd gotten injured in the last ball game, but that's how you do it right there. Helmet in the chest and drive the feet and put him on the ground.
That's a Spillman specialty there.
Yeah.
Flag is down, by the way. The end of the play, as well as a Hokie lineman. And they call unsportsmanlike after the big hit.
Looks like their center, Ryan Schumann, number 58, who's down.
It was Scafey after the hit, got up and a little taunting.
Yeah.
That's drawn flags these days. We drew a flag a week ago on USF at Rutgers. So a lecture from the coach and a great defensive play ruined by the flag. We'll check the injury when we come back.
Every day, work
truckers across America cover our good name with dirt, grease, and mud. And you know what? We're fine with that. Dickies, a legend in work.
Mark and Laura, 30 when they finished graduate school, repaying student loans, and then 2 children. Behind the 8 ball? Yes. But drawing on the independent spirit that took them backpacking from Pittsburgh to Panama, they started working with people at TD Ameritrade, using planning tools, guidance, and research to help them catch up and move ahead. TD Ameritrade. Independence is the spirit that drives America's most successful investors.
Come shine here with me. Gotta make it mine today. I'm finally free. Gonna make them stop and say, zone, zone, zone. Yes.
Motor Trend's 2008 Sport Utility of the Year, the 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. Designed, engineered, and now celebrated the Zoom Zoom way.
Hostel 2, now on unrated DVD and Blu-ray high def. What happens in Slovakia stays in Slovakia. Hostel 2, now on unrated DVD and Blu-ray high def.
You know, this has to be my favorite time of the year. That's right, it's Chevy Truck Month.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on all 07 Silverado regular half-ton extended cabs and the 07 Avalanche. That's right, 0% financing for 60 months on the trucks backed by the best coverage in America. Better than Ford, better than Toyota.
Hey, don't miss out. Get the Chevy Truck Month by October 31st.
See your Southern Chevy dealers or visit southernchevydealers.com.
Dodge Ram, the longest lasting, most durable line of full-size pickups. And with an available Cummins turbo diesel, Ram is the strongest and cleanest full-size pickup ever, helping you to make the most of every mile. Now get up to $6,000 cash allowance and a lifetime powertrain limited warranty on 2007 Dodge Ram trucks.
On the practice field, a reminder that none of us is as good as all of us. A program here that was never really built on superstar players or future NFL talent. They've had some of that, but built on cohesion, working hard, blue-collar mentality. Things that Frank Beamer still preaches. Excellent drive, 13 plays so far. The Hokies have a first down after the personal foul at the 11-yard line. Into the backfield, disrupting the handoff. Great penetration by the Eagles. Let's go to Reese Davis for a 30 and 30 update.
All right, Chris, San Diego Mayor Jerry Sanders says Qualcomm Stadium will be closed to fire evacuees as of noon Pacific time on Friday, perhaps paving the way for the Chargers and Texans to play there this weekend. And David Stern says that more than half of his officials violated casino gambling rules, but they won't be punished because Stern's about to change those rules. Sports Center after the game. Stay current with ESPN News.
Reese Sachs on second down, a short completion to Greg Boone. As they say Boone here, he dives for a short gain to the 8-yard line. It'll set up third down.
A nice play on second down that time by Sean Glennon, but on first down, they had to bring in Matt Welsh, number 51, the new center, and they're going to go right past the center, right in between the guard and center for the sack.
That was Nick Rossi. He's an offensive lineman. He's an offensive lineman shifting to defense, and he showed some quickness there.
Yes, he did. He's right over the nose again on this play.
3rd and 7. And it has time. Doesn't have a man open and fires for Royal. Did he get his feet in? No signal.
He's looking for help. He doesn't have help yet.
They're lobbying and they signal touchdown.
Well, this will certainly get looked at.
Taji Morris defending on Royal. Keep an eye on the feet.
Glennon does a great job of buying time. Royal works the sideline, just waits. Does he keep one foot in?
Does he have the ball yet?
No, I don't think so. That's not a touchdown. Not a touchdown.
You got to watch the ball and the feet.
Yeah. Possession of the ball, not there.
Now the band is playing. Of course, they're going to stop and take a look.
Part of the problem for the official was his position on the call. He was actually about 5 yards off the sideline and didn't have the right angle down the line.
Keep an eye on possession. Does Royal have it before his feet leave the ground in the end zone?
Well, and Royal tried to buy a little more time back to the inside, but if he'd have gone maybe a little bit more to the inside before he came back, I just didn't think he had possession of the football.
Didn't look like it. Didn't look like it. Now, it was ruled a touchdown, so the evidence has to be enough to overturn the call. But again, here's the official right here. He's not right down the line to be able to see exactly where Royal's foot was. Now he comes back into the line, but he was kind of blind from the spot that he was in.
I say right there he has possession, but the feet are off the ground.
Looks like they're off the ground.
The one thing about these officials, we had them a couple of weeks ago, Florida State at Wake Forest, and then we had a, kind of a casebook study on a call and make a decision. And
they're
that's
deliberate
what they
in
really
the
want
ACC.
to.
They'll take their time in this conference, but hopefully get it right most of the time.
But this is what I like about the replay, is because this is a play that deserves to be given the right call. I mean, this is a game that may not be a high-scoring game.
Sure.
But you hear some people talk about instant replay, and don't you guys agree? I mean, it's there to correct the obvious blown call, right? Or missed call.
Missed call.
So if it's not real apparent upstairs, then it must have been, not conclusive enough for you to make the decision to overturn it.
What's your point?
My point is,
look
at it.
Replay or
I like replay.
Okay.
I love replay. Let's look at it, see it, look at it again, make a decision.
You just mean do it faster.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of helping me out there?
Well, I want to make sure I knew exactly what you were saying.
It's going to be tough on that angle to tell. This is better. Now, does Royal, when does he completely grasp the football? There's a little bit of a bobble when it first gets to him. Wow. They did not see enough to overturn the call in the field, which was very late. And a touchdown for Royal.
Now, why is that so important? I mean, for Virginia Tech, they've won 34 straight games when they've scored first. So, I mean, you don't necessarily think that's got to hold up, but it means a lot in a ball game like this.
Judd Dunleavy on for the extra point. What a drive by Virginia Tech. Controversial ending perhaps, but they go 91 yards. 16 plays, 7 minutes and 13 seconds. They do take a 7-0 lead.
And they really now, Sean Glennon has to feel good about himself. What a drive that he had on this. And it really was a result, first of all, of his scrambling. And man, Todd, that's going to put a lot of concern in that defense.
Right, because Boston College say, hey, we're going to rush 3 and drop 8. We don't fear you as a scrambler, but when he scrambles for a first down, he moves around in the pocket, buys extra time, and ultimately gets the touchdown throw on that play.
Glennon 5 of 6 on the drive, and Aaron, a very different Sean Glennon that we've seen in several games this year.
As he should be, Chris. I'm standing right behind him by the bench, and he is ecstatic, very happy. His teammates coming over and congratulating him. This was a guy that his head coach Beamer said, you need to stop reading the message boards. You need to just pay attention and concentrate on what you do the best. Very happy Sean Glennon over here on Virginia Tech's sideline.
He admits there, and he pouted after he got benched. The Ohio University game, Tyrod Taylor, the true freshman, comes in and starts. Glennon didn't handle it well. They didn't have a lot of conversations with him. They kind of let him cool off, and eventually Brian Steinspring, the offensive coordinator, started to praise him in the practice field to kind of help rebuild his confidence, and he's been a pretty good teammate to Taylor since then, but he is eager to have this chance tonight.
Well, and I think he finally realized after that Ohio game, he said, look, I realized I just had to get over it. I had to get over it, and now I had to prepare in case I get another opportunity, which he got last week, an even better opportunity tonight.
And realistically, don't you remind the young man that he played at LSU, and that LSU's defense has manhandled and made a lot of quarterbacks look terrible this year?
And I really think the move to Tyrod Taylor was not so much negative about Sean Glennon as it was our offense needs a spark. Brandon Orr's not the same. We need somebody to give us a spark. They thought Tyrod could do that.
Jared DeVelli leads the ACC in touchbacks. Instead, boots it short, and Jeff Smith will have a chance. Jeff Smith has a crease and is knocked down at the 35-yard line. Kicker down there, joining in on the tackle. We talked about this game in Baton Rouge. After all the emotion here in the opening win over East Carolina, they just ran into a very inspired, nasty, aggressive LSU team, and nothing went right. 48-7. Bud Foster's defense embarrassed by LSU. Offense did nothing.
Yeah, and I think the biggest surprise was that defense, because LSU gained almost 600 yards, and that's a proud defensive unit at Virginia Tech. They played much, much better since that night.
A second crack at a second-ranked team tonight, this time in their ballpark. Callender is the setback. Now we'll see if Ryan can answer for the Eagles. Punt. Brandon Robinson on a very short 3-yard gain. Cody Grimm, the linebacker, on the stop. Grimm, the son of Russ Grimm, the former Hog offensive lineman for the Redskins. He's been given the starting nod over Cam Martin, who will play tonight, but Martin, the normal starter, a case of mononucleosis that he overcame pretty quickly. In the meantime, a chance for the sophomore with a good football pedigree. Not quite as big as his dad, but quicker.
A little quicker.
2nd and 7. Callender is the setback. Megwa in motion. Ryan, look left, pressured and sacked. Chris Ellis with his 6th sack of the season. They get to the All-American Heisman candidate.
Well, this little wrinkle by the Virginia Tech defense is causing some problems. It's just a 4-man rush, but they're standing one of them up. You're going to see this stand up here, and look, he's looking in, but the problem's going to come right off of Sherrillis's right side. That's where the problem is. Sherrillis, they're worried about where that 4th rusher's coming from, and then he gets beat on the speed rush by Chris Ellis.
Ellis is their best pass rusher. He's a senior. 19 and a half career sacks now. 3rd and 17. Ryan almost intercepted the pass. Too tall for Brandon Robinson.
But
DJ Parker was in the area, guys.
And Virginia Tech is getting great pressure on Matt Ryan with only 4 rushers. And that is hard for a quarterback, because if you don't have to commit extra guys to the rush, then you can put those guys in coverage in all your combinations.
But this has been a Boston College offensive line that has not had any pressure allowed on the quarterback. And so right now, I really go back to it. It's the speed of the game. I think the speed up front of Virginia Tech's defensive line and the stunt movement that they have is causing problems for them.
I agree.
Only given up 6 sacks all season. Back-to-back 3-and-outs for Boston College. Ayers collects the high snap as they peel back to set up the return for Royal. Royal cannot turn the corner. 50-yard punt, 8-yard return. Hokies get the ball back, up 7-0 on number 2.
Dad, we need a new fridge. This one's old.
You think?
Yeah. And what's up with the cabinets? And these lights? We need to go to Home Depot.
Right now, get no payments, no interest for 12 months on purchases store-wide of $2.99 or more through Sunday with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Plus, get 10% off appliances.
The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
I was sitting in a restaurant with my girlfriend. We were going to meet her boss and her boss's fiance. I'd never met either, but she couldn't remember the fiance's name. And they were coming in like 3 minutes. And then I said, wait, it's on their wedding website. So I took the iPhone out under the table, and I was like pulling up the wedding website and just scrolled down to see the name. That's it. So just then we got up and we just, we confidently introduced ourselves. Her boss and fiance don't know that I don't remember their names. I think it was Meredith.
Come shine here with me. Gotta make it mine today. I'm finally free. Gonna make them stop and say, zoom, zoom, zoom. Yes.
Motor Trend's 2008 Sport Utility of the Year, the 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. Designed, engineered, and now celebrated the Zoom Zoom way.
The #1 movie in America is the most terrifying vampire film ever made. Who are they? 30 Days of Night, directed by David Slade. Rated R.
Red one.
You sure you want this one?
Yeah, that one's good.
eBay. Shop victoriously.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by The Home Depot and AT&T. Your world delivered.
Hey Todd, we've heard you've been eating pretty unhealthy on your tour, so we whipped you up a Thai tofu, and they got some veggies and tofu and brown rice, and a hoki juice, which is carrots and beets.
Todd, I know that's not your normal fare. What do you think of what's in the box here? A little tofu and
I've never eaten tofu. And this is your kind of food, right?
No, it's not.
Aren't you the healthy guy?
Don't listen to Herb. You get some steamed broccoli here.
I do like broccoli.
But wait, if you get through this stuff.
Which one's the tofu here?
I'll take the dessert.
If you get through this, we do a different chocolate cake for you. I know that's more your speed.
Is that made with tofu also or not?
Wait a minute.
It looks pretty good.
They fumble the snap and a scrum. Hokies have retained possession. Now, this is not your normal fare, right? You've got the tradition on Saturday nights. So you don't take Mike Patrick along to eat out,
well,
do you?
I offer, but I mean, he doesn't like to come. Now, he likes to talk about it. He likes when I bring him sticky buns or something or ribs or whatever, but no, he doesn't go, this is my Hokie.
Beets and carrots, the Hokie colors. What about that? You like that?
I don't know. Is there a straw?
There you go. Nachos. That's more you.
Yeah. You know, we've had some dinner. And, you know, everywhere we go with this guy, everybody wants to talk to you about the food.
They don't even ask me about football anymore. They just ask me.
I got ready for you this week, too, man. I worked out hard. We've had 2 big meals, 2 big breakfasts.
You can eat pretty good, too. You could hang with me.
There's Sean Glennon. Is pressured. Protect the football, young man, as he's brought down for his short gain. Good coverage downfield by the Eagles. They put away that broccoli and the carrot juice. Halftime coming up at 7.5 here.
And I still got the cake.
And the rain once again starts to fall pretty hard.
Ron Brace. Yeah, we just saw Ron Brace, number 60. He's a guy that when we talked to Brian Steinspring of Virginia Tech, he said, we must get movement on him. He's about 330 pounds in the middle of that defense, and when we run double teams at him, we can't allow him to hold his ground.
Matt Welsh is still in at center now.
Yep.
They've converted their last 4 on third down. Lennon flushed.
Hold that ball.
Looking to throw, and now hammered for a short loss. Lennon keeping his eyes upfield, and finally Brady Smith was able to track him down.
Ball protection, knowing and aware of the situation, the scoreboard, everything about it. Sean Glennon's got to really be wise with this ball in the pocket.
Well, and what he's done before this play is once he started to make that move, he's tucked it and run. This time he's keeping it loose. He's looking to throw it. Lucky he didn't lose it.
Again, a low line drive punt by Bowden, and Tribble catches it at the 30-yard line. So Boston College back on offense. They've run 20 plays and have gained 36 yards so far. Well, Saturday night, ESPN and ESPN2 team up to bring you great college football games at 7 Eastern. Undefeated Kansas visiting the Aggies in Kyle Field. And Gino, not very good success historically against the Big 12 South, but this is a new Jayhawk team, and Todd, Mike Patrick company will be down the road in Knoxville for the ball coach.
Yeah. Interesting game. They both came off of really disappointing losses last week, but they're both right in the thick of things in the SEC East, so a huge game in Knoxville.
You got him the last visit to Knoxville, first ever win for South Carolina and Rocky Top. The rain really falling. Ryan pressured on first down, gets it away. Short loose. John Lloyd fumbled the football. BC retains possession. Lloyd, that thing getting slipperier and slipperier as the rain really comes down.
Bud Foster and Virginia Tech, they really want to find a way to push Matt Ryan out of the pocket. They want to get him away from behind the center. They were able to accomplish that time.
Yeah, they feel if they can flush him out with some inside penetration and make him move his feet, that's where he's not quite as dangerous or accurate. That was a good throw, but they still almost came up with the turnover. Here's that 3-man look with a man standing up. 4-man rush from different spots.
Again, the short football knocked loose. Is it a catch and a fumble? No signal yet. Ryan Purvis, the tight end, is the man that Ryan was throwing to.
When you talk about ball security with Sean Glennon, Steve Logan told us the same thing. We must protect the football. We can't get into Beamer ball. We can't let the defense make turnovers or score points.
Well, Dwayne Brown, the left tackle, did an excellent job of pushing the defensive end pressure up, allowed Ryan to get up the field. EA, what do you have down there?
Well, just to add on what you were saying about ball security and offensive coordinator Steve Logan, remember he weighed the football for his team. He said, guys, it doesn't weigh that much. You can carry, just don't let it go if you get tackled. By the way, guys, this is the loudest it's been in this stadium all night.
On a 3rd and 2, a short completion. Rich Gunnell hit at the 40-yard line. They'll spot it across the 40 for a first down. Yeah, that ball may weigh more than, what, 13.2 ounces tonight with a little water on it.
A little heavier with the water.
A little heavier. But you know what? On this particular play right here, this really will drive Bud Foster and that defense crazy because they do a matchup zone. And that means that you really find receivers in your match once they come into the area. You can't allow a receiver to run open at 3rd and 2 and complete that pass.
John Lloyd, the tight end, has twice lost the ball. Fortunate that his team still has it and has a first down. Whitworth is the tailback, and he gets it. L.V. Whitworth into the secondary. Whitworth dragged down from behind by D.J. Parker after the longest Eagles run of the night, 16 yards.
It's a funny looking play because it looked almost like a sucker play. Matt Tennant, the center, looked like he was getting driven about 5 yards back off the line of scrimmage, and pretty soon Whitworth slipped in there for a big gain.
It almost looked like that the snap didn't come off on time.
It was something funny looking play.
Yeah.
Three tight end look for the Eagles. Devin Challenger in motion. Ryan well protected, fires. It's Challenger ducking to the 31-yard line. First down.
We talked about
of the night.
Matt Ryan in the beginning of the show, his NFL mind. I mean, he sees and recognizes and processes very quickly. There's a lot of guys that you can show something in the film room and they get it, but they can't do it in 2.4 seconds on the field. Matt Ryan can. He read the right side, saw what he had, came back left for the quick throw.
Best looking BC drive of the night. Ryan has hit his last 4 passes, and Bud Foster's defense wants to talk about it.
Kick. That's their first time out of the half.
Inside of 4 minutes till halftime, Eagles try to get on the board against the Hokies.
The vest. The arm thingies. More arm thingies. But what if I wasn't around? Who would protect her from life's dangers? Like really shallow water.
Putting minds at ease for 150 years. Northwestern Mutual. Insurance, investments, ideas.
Come shine here with me. Gotta make it mine today. I'm finally free. Gonna make them stop and say.
Motor Trend's 2008 Sport Utility of the Year, the 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. Designed, engineered, and now celebrated the Zoom Zoom way.
What are you working for? Is it the passion? The future? The challenge? Or maybe it's for something else. Whatever you work for, Monster works for you. With powerful tools that deliver the best job match. Go to Monster today and find the job that works for you.
Monster works for me.
For the Go Green sales event, we want you to race this very special bike.
How about I just make a few sales calls or something?
Done.
The Kawasaki Go Green sales event is on. Hurry in to get payments as low as $69 for 24 months on new Kawasaki vehicles. Sale ends December 31st.
Sorry to bother you at supper time. Hello?
Adversity for the #2 team in the country. Boston College said no big deal playing in Lane at night. Throwing some rain, and it's been tough going for the #2 team. L.B. Whitworth And first down, hammered after the short gain. Ryan started the game just 1 of 5. Since then, 8 of 11, but they haven't had the big plays downfield that Steve Logan is looking for.
No really big-time deep threats on this Boston College team. I mean, the receiving core here, you know, they're kind of pedestrian.
Yeah, and because of that, I expect to see Bud Foster turn up the heat a little bit more with some pressure defense, because I think he probably feels Brandon Flowers and Victor Harris, his 2 corners, can lock down pretty well.
Here's that 4-man line that we were talking about a while ago. When you go 4, really hadn't put pressure on him.
Ryan takes a shot downfield. Rich Gunnell off the shoulder pad at the 1-yard line, incomplete.
Right in between 2 defenders, and Matt Ryan threw that ball perfectly, dropped it right in the bucket, and Gunnell just not able to come down with it.
Well, here you again, you have protection up front, the 4-man rush not working, and can it be any better thrown?
No, right in between them, going right over the shoulder.
Is that pedestrian?
Pedestrian.
Well, you know,
that's a tough assessment of this receiving core. I don't know if they have an NFL type guy, but there's some quality college receivers here in Challenger and Gunnell and Brandon Robinson. You don't think so?
I didn't say they were bad. I just said they're not superstars out there.
I agree with that. 3rd and 8. Ryan rolls, steps up, loses the football. Eagles cover it, but it's a huge loss. Ryan Martin knocked it loose from Ryan. Costanzo, the true freshman lineman, falls on it, but that's a crucial loss. They were in field goal range, and now back at the 42 are not.
And Craig, you mentioned, Bud Foster said, we want to make him move his feet. If we can get him out of rhythm, get him moving around a little bit, we think we can make some plays. He leaves the pocket because of the pressure from Ellis, and when he steps back up, he loses the football.
Is that 3 in a row now? The ball's been on the carpet, and 3 white jerseys luckily on those balls.
Yep.
Second sack tonight, loses 13 yards, and now Air is in again. An active first half, punt number 5. High kick. Well, once again, lets it go, and this one will roll into the end zone. Inside of 3 minutes in the first half, the Hokies on top. Let's go to Reese Davis for a preview of the Pontiac Performance halftime report. Reese.
All right, Chris, you guys try to stay dry there. Mayday's going to tell us who's on the mark and who's off the mark. Lou is going to deliver a pep talk to a team that desperately needs any kind of help they can get. We'll also check the scene in Eugene before the Pac-10 showdown between the Trojans and the Ducks. Pontiac Performance halftime report coming up in just a little while.
Reese, thanks. A good weekend in the Pac-10. It is USC an underdog at Oregon, Cal and unbeaten Arizona State as well in Tempe. Hokies figure to be very cautious here with the lead, and the snap is fumbled. Boston College football.
And again, remember, it's the backup center in Matt Welsh. They haven't had a problem in the 2 previous possessions, but that time a poor exchange. Glennon never had the football.
Welsh is a guy who's played guard, both guard positions, but of no note, really, that's ever played center. So the ball in the exchange just not getting up there.
And the problem was the right guard, Sergio Render, was wrapping around the center at the same time. So Glennon not able to handle that football.
Mark Herzlich, the linebacker, makes the recovery. Exactly what Beamer and the Hokies did not want, protecting a 7-point lead before halftime. The defense has done such a great job limiting BC to just 64 yards. Callender, the back on first down. They fake it to him. Ryan lost to the end zone, throws into traffic and over the head of everybody. Robinson, the receiver. Is he forcing things now out of frustration?
Well, I think they thought on that play that they were going to trick him. They went with a quick count. There was a little confusion in the lineup because of the formation for Virginia Tech, but they weren't fooled on the deep route. I think he threw that one away.
And I tell you where it really worked, that play up front, because they snapped the ball before the defense was able to figure out where they were going to line up.
But the back end of the defense wasn't fooled enough to make a play of it.
And they have 7 or 8 different protections here at Boston College, and they have to mix it up.
Good job by Chancellor and Parker on coverage there on 2nd and 10. Ryan takes the handoff. And now just throws it away.
They're trying to set up a screen again, and you know that because there's linemen released downfield. I'm Steve Logan. I'm thinking, you know what? I may stay away from those screens for a while because every time we've lined up to run one, Virginia Tech has read our mail. They've been waiting for it.
But at times, Logan says, I'll run plays 2 or 3 times in a row. I'm going to if they're working. But he says, I'll be hard-headed and stubborn about it. You know, I'm going to stick to it and see if you can defend it.
The screens aren't working, though,
no,
Coach.
0. They're not working tonight. But
they can't even get the screen completed, much less make a gain. 3rd and 10. As loud as it's been all night. Callender has it. Callender breaks the tackle. Callender with a flag down. A flag down.
Well, they fooled him on the run, too. Virginia Tech thinking pass all the way. They went with the quick little trap.
Well, they got Ty Hall, the guard, and a costly penalty, the 5th of the first half for Jagosinski's team.
Left side there, left guard. Ty Hall, just a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up before the snap.
Wipes out the 13-yard gain. And they're marching back into very marginal field goal range for Athanasius. A wet night.
If I'm going to throw it here, I may want to get a little extra help blocking on Chris Ellis. I'd put a back over there to help my left tackle against Chris Ellis. He's down at the bottom of the formation, number 49.
The Callender is the back. Ryan fires into traffic, incomplete. Challenger was the receiver. He had turned in the throw into the outside. DJ Parker on defense, and another strong stand by the Hokie defense.
Well, before the game, Matt Ryan was out real early, and it was raining heavy, and he was out trying to throw and get used to the rain. And, you know, it's a smart guy trying to get used to what's going on with it.
Well, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for it.
Athanasius, the kicker, not too reliable for much beyond 40 yards in a tough, wet night. They'll take their chances on 4th and 15.
With Virginia Tech, you're thinking make them catch it in front of us and make a tackle. They got a lot of yards to get a first down.
They rush 3 and still get pressure, and he'll just throw it away.
Barry Booker, number 59, got the quick pressure. And when you get pressure inside as a quarterback, you have no chance. It's one thing if it comes outside and you can step up in the pocket. When it comes right up on the inside, you got some problems.
But I'll go back to what, you know, you kind of lay your foundation in prepping for a game with all the film study. Boston College gave us no reason to believe that they wouldn't be able to handle a 3-man rush. We have not seen this in any of our film study. And it's just a clean breakthrough by Barry Booker, number 59. 3 men, 8 dropping.
Well, he just beat the center. I mean, the center, Matt Tennant, who's a good player, probably the best guy up there on that line, just was slow after the snap, and Booker blew right past him.
Speed, baby, speed.
And a very highly regarded offensive line is getting whipped up front big time. Boston College gets nothing out of the fumbled snap. And just 2:05 till halftime. Busting up the middle is Brandon Orr. Brandon Orr into the secondary. The longest run of the year against Boston College, takes it to the 40.
There's a new center in also. Bo Warren is now in at center, and he gets a key block right in the middle. They collapse the inside. Watch the center and the guard. The tight end comes over Sam Wheeler and gets a block on the trap, and Brandon Orr hits it for a big run.
Well, you know, we've been amazed that Brandon Orr, who has had a really successful career, has not been able to get out of the gate this year.
Now, that was his longest run of the year, Craig. It had been 24 yards before that. That good for 34. Running, flush by Dunbar. Flicks it short and complete. Good job fighting forward. Harper, a flag is down. They hit Glennon after he threw the ball. This is a personal foul, and we expect it is. This will march it deep into BC territory. He gained about 8 on the play. personal foul. Instead, a very late flag and unnecessary, really.
Yeah. Dwayne Brown is going to be the guy that gets the block in the back. I saw Glennon go down to the ground, and I thought that's why they called a late hit. But Dwayne Brown actually pushed Jolon Dunbar into the quarterback.
And he wasn't going to get to Glennon at all.
Dwayne Brown, the most talented offensive lineman up there for Virginia Tech. Last 2 years starter at right tackle. They moved him to left tackle this year. Costly penalty.
And you know, you talk about the center that's in there now. Bo Warren worked in the spring at center. Former tight end, a little bit more athletic up front, but he's still inexperienced.
Yeah. Brown, 34th start. Too experienced to make a mental mistake like that. Field position ruined for the Hokies. The ball back on their side of the field at the 49. And timeout now with 1:13 before halftime. Let's see if that changes Beamer's idea of this possession.
Well, you want to be aggressive, but your defense has really shut down Matt Ryan and the BC offense right now. So you don't want to be dumb. I mean, you want to be smart with the football. But the other thing right now, you don't know what the weather's going to do the rest of the game. It's raining very mildly right now, so it might be a good time if you feel good about it and you feel Sean Glennon's on his game to take a shot.
Well, the forecast is for rain on and off for the next several days, so there's no reason to believe.
Timeout, charge to Virginia Tech. That's their second timeout of the half. That's a 30-second timeout.
Ryan's goal is to develop highly specific anti-cancer drugs. As an undergraduate chemistry major, he's already won 2 national awards for research, a Goldwater Scholarship and an award from the American Chemical Society.
My student Amanda takes full advantage of our proximity to Boston as an intern with the State Supreme Judicial Court. A promising young historian, Amanda's an invaluable undergraduate research fellow and editor of a campus newspaper.
I'm Ryan Heaney.
I'm Amanda Matthews. We're students at Boston College.
Wet and wild first half. Not much offense from the second-ranked BCS team in the country, Boston College. Squandering opportunities at one promising drive. It's not that. Couldn't make anything out of the good field position after the fumble, and just 64 yards against pretty inspired Hokie defense. See if Tech can add to the lead here. Minute 13 before halftime. Penalty pushing him back to the 49, and Glennon will take a shot. Except he's dropped. Larkin got him.
Now I think Frank Beamer, after 2 negative plays in a row, I think he might be content to just take this thing on into the locker room.
Well, especially when you're center. You got a different guy up there, and he got pushed back that time. And it really all started with the center and the coordination. Go in, regroup, make sure he understands what the assignments are. Flutie'd be telling you to go for it, wouldn't he? He never wants to take a knee before.
And not taking a knee. I mean, it's shotgun formation for Glennon. He'll fire over the middle. And a catch by Justin Harper, but no gain. Herzlich, the linebacker there on the stop. We've seen Boston College get off to some slow starts, play some unimpressive first halves, and then turn it on after halftime. They'll have to do that again tonight.
But you know what? You made the comment, Todd, before the game. Maybe this rain will keep this crowd quieted down.
I don't think so.
No. What gets this crowd going is a pass rush, and the Hokies have had that tonight. They are pitching a shutout after 30 minutes against one of the top Heisman candidates in the country, Matt Ryan. Old-fashioned defensive struggle. Eagles trailing for the first time at the break. They've been better after halftime, though. Let's see if they can get things going. Jagosinski is with Aaron Andrews.
Well, Coach, for your offensive line, how do you counter their defense there in the second half?
Well, we just need to go ahead and be a little stouter. Our communication's not very good right now. We'll get that fixed here at halftime.
How much of it is the weather affecting Matt Ryan right now?
Well, we just got to get back into a rhythm and start throwing and catching. We had some drops and that. We'll get that fixed.
Okay, thanks. Chris.
Ryan 9 of 21, but the low-key Jagosinski will hardly panic. 7-0 Virginia Tech at halftime. Reese, Mark, and Lou now for the Pontiac Performance halftime recorded. Nice dry Bristol.
It is dry, Chris. Glad to have you with us on the Pontiac Performance halftime report. Teams ranked second in the country are 0 for October. BC's number 2. They were 0 for the first half, nothing on the scoreboard. We'll continue on the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report. We'll hear from both Mark and Lou in just a little while. Lou is going to try to rile up the children of the corn, and boy, if anybody needs it, it is certainly Nebraska. The pep talk's on the way, and then on the mark and off the mark. What do you think the officials in the UConn-Louisville game were last week?
This ain't a lunch table, baby. This is a lunch table full of the flavors that bring people together. Applebee's new Pick and Pair lunch combos. Over 60 combinations starting at $5.99. Applebee's. Get it together, baby.
Ask me about two. Ask me about two with authority. And be sure to ask me about two in my house.
Going on now. Go to Foot Locker, Lady Foot Locker, and Kids Foot Locker and get two for $79.99.
Just remember, you've only got two hands.
Select styles only.
As a growing business, you don't always get the attention you really need. That's where the principal can help. From banking to health plans to retirement solutions, we have lots of ways to help a not-so-big business rise above the crowd. The Principal Financial Group will give you an edge.
Man, that's a good movie. I love those Hoosiers. You think we Hoosiers? Kinda in a way. Yeah, who's driving RV? Ben Gundy, I think. What?
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays, plus in-depth analysis all week.
To the bank for a chance to win $50,000. Check your mailbox for a special postcard from Security Bank or pick up your Scan to Win card at Security Bank in Brunswick or St. Simons. Then bring it to the bank for your chance to scan and win up to $50,000 in cash between October 15th and November 9th. $250 or $500 are also up for grabs along with daily gift bags. Scan to win up to $50,000 at Security Bank. Complete details available at www.securitybank.net/Glenn. Member FDIC.
Being injured in an accident can only be the beginning of your problems. You only get one shot at compensation. Make it count. If you've been hurt, you just get better. We'll handle your legal needs. Call Farah and Farah.
Overall, living better is simple.
Eat right, exercise, and get enough rest.
Not about living longer, it's about living better. And damn it, I deserve to be healthy.
The new Discovery Health, here for you every step of the way. On air, online, on call.
Surprise, surprise, the Buckeyes are #1. But for how long? They head into Happy Valley to take on the Nittany Lions, who are determined to define their season with a signature win. It's the Rally in the Valley, Ohio State, Penn State, at 8 Eastern on Saturday Night Football.
Welcome back to the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report.
Number one's got its hands full on Saturday night. Number two has all it can take care of tonight. Boston College trailing Virginia Tech 7-0 at the half. Glad to have you with us. Pontiac Performance Halftime Report. Time for Mark to evaluate some performances and tell us who's on the mark, off the mark. Let's be positive first. Who's on the mark?
Surprise, surprise, the Buckeyes are on the mark, and it's the Buckeye defense, obviously, led by James Laurinaitis, their all-star linebacker. This is a defense that you can't throw the ball on, you can't run the ball on, and you can't throw it into territories where they're going to make you force a turnover. Right here, they strip the quarterback of the ball, pick it up, and score. This is a defense that's #1 in scoring. They give up less than 8 points a game, and if you're going to throw the ball, you're going to pay the price against the Buckeye defense. Also on the mark, Les Miles, because I got something under this hat, Reese Davis. I got ball plays under this hat.
The Mad Hatter.
Not only that, Reese Davis, you know, I can go for it on a play where I should just ground it, kick the field goal, run the ball. I can throw touchdowns with seconds left on the clock and still win the football game and have a chance for the BCS championship game. Yes, I'm the hat, Les Miles. And number 3, Dennis Erickson at Arizona State. Last year, he was 4-8 at Idaho. Now he goes to Arizona State with the 4th scoring defense in the country, only giving up 15 points a game. Rudy Carpenter's protecting the ball. They're 7-0 on the season. They get an opportunity this week to go against California and be 8-0, but Dennis Erickson's done an outstanding job at Arizona State, the undefeated Arizona State.
All right, so let's take a trip to Negative Town now and tell me who's off the mark.
Well, it would have to be the Big East officials. How can you blow this play? In your sleep, you can't miss this play. That's a fair catch. And not only in this game, how about the South Florida Rutgers game? A lot of questionable calls by the Big East officials. Everybody in the stadium knew, even the players on the UConn football team knew that he was going for a fair catch. But who missed it? The officiating crew missed this. And not only that, Steve Craigthorpe knew that they missed this. The other thing that's off the mark, the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier, 15-0 against Vandy as a player and a head coach at Florida and South Carolina. 15-0, you roll your helmets out against a 15-0 Vandy Reese Davis. Vandy Reese Davis.
Not the same old Vandy, Mayday.
Didn't score a touchdown, coach. How could South Carolina not score a touchdown against Vanderbilt? That's what happened. It's the South Carolina offense. Also off the mark, the voters. How can you be number 2 in the country and the voters vote you out of the top 10 after a loss? On the road, against a good football team, when they pull out all the trick plays against you and you still almost won the football game, how can you be number 1 at LSU and lose a game and only fall to 4th, number 2 South Florida and lose a game and fall out of the top 10? Tell me that one, Reese.
Because the voters sometimes penalize teams they're not familiar with enough? Is that right?
Good answer.
I think that's probably what happened. But South Florida did hang in the top 10 in the BCS once you figured out all of the components there. So at least they have that going for them.
Right there.
There's that Statue of Liberty again. No, he kept it off the Statue of Liberty and walked it in.
Goody has time, throws it over the middle. Caught by Davis, dives in the end zone. Touchdown, USC.
Oregon and USC Saturday at Pac-10 Showdown. Mayday, here's your matchup. The Duck offense against the Trojan D.
And it's the Duck offensive line against Cedric Ellis and company from the Trojans defense. If you look at this offense, they had 465 yards rushing last week against Washington. Now you're looking at an offense that had over 660 yards against Washington last week. But Cedric Ellis causes disruption. He's tough to bring down in the middle. And as a nose tackle, you have to block him with 2 people or he causes havoc into the backfield. He's quick enough to make plays into the backfield, has 5.5 sacks on the season. And for this Oregon offensive line, in order for them to win the game, they're going to have to neutralize his attack at the line of scrimmage and not allow him to get penetration. On pass protection, they're going to have to make sure that they keep him away from their quarterback, Dennis Dixon, and they're not going to allow Jonathan Stewart to run up the middle on this defense. Not only the nose guard, but the linebackers of USC. That's why they're the top-ranked defense in the Pac-10 conference.
But they may not have much chance because there's a difference between the quarterback play. John David Booty and Tony Sanchez usually have just, Mark Sanchez may have just 2 people split out. For example, the leading receiver for Southern Cal's Pat Turner is averaging 10 yards a reception. On the other hand, you got Dennis Dixon. They spread people out. They get mismatches. They get an awful lot of big plays. Jason Williams is the leading receiver for Oregon. He's averaging almost 15 yards reception. But here's Dennis Dixon, and there's why they're going to be able to run the football. He presents so many problems in the spread offense, etc. Yes, Southern Cal's been able to play the run very, very well, but they have not played against a running quarterback like Dennis Dixon or the receivers that can create mismatches for the secondary of Southern Cal.
Perhaps the last time the Trojans saw a number 10 who could run like that at quarterback. Vince Young of Texas, USC and Oregon in Autzen Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Sean Glennon found Eddie Royal for the only touchdown of the first half. We'll hear a little pep talk when we come back.
The Pontiac Performance Halftime Report is powered by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA.
Welcome to the new shape of fast. Introducing the new Pontiac G6 GXP Street Edition. Pontiac, designed for action.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Ding dong!
Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
As kids,
I decided to drop down the chimney. I wouldn't go telling people that.
Fred and Nick couldn't be more different. But now,
you've never come up here to visit.
The one place Fred doesn't fit in.
You review those files. If the kid strikes you as naughty, bam! Stamp him naughty.
Is exactly where he's meant to be.
It's Christmas. Come on, the kids are out there. They're counting on us. You betcha.
Vince Vaughn, Paul Giamatti, Fred Claus. Rated PG. Starts Friday, November 9th.
The Breeders' Cup World Championships, the richest event in sports, capped by a star-studded classic featuring street sense and curling. The Breeders' Cup begins Friday at 4 p.m. on ESPN2.
11 championships, $23 million, and Horse of the Year honors are on the line. Thoroughbred superstars from around the globe, like Kentucky Derby winner Street Sense, and Preakness champ Curlin headline racing's richest event. The Breeders' Cup World Championships, live Friday on ESPN2 and Saturday on ESPN.
Well, if Nebraska were a horse, they'd be a broken down old nag right now, but Bill Callahan says they're just going through a tough stretch, which is somewhat like saying Larry Craig just had a little PR snafu. The Children of the Corn are 4-4. Their defense is giving up points by the bundle. They got blown out at home by Texas A&M, and now they have to deal with the Longhorns, but perhaps there's hope from Lou's Pep Talk.
If I was a mailman, I wouldn't have handled any more mail than I did this past week. And most of it was negative. But that doesn't bother me, because when you go into coaching, you understand one thing. The time to worry is before you place your bet, and not after they spin the wheel. I'm not worried about job security. That's part of the coaching profession. I have an education. I'm willing to work. I'll always have a future. I also believe we can solve any problem if enough people care. We can solve sexism, racism. We can solve problems with Nebraska football if enough people care. And the only way enough people are going to care if you ask yourself this key question the rest of your life. If I didn't show up, who would miss me and why? If Nebraska football ceased to exist, would anybody miss them and why? The answer is obviously yes. The country would, TV would, our fans would. Our fans understand the great tradition of Nebraska football. Go back to Bob Devaney, Tom Osborne, national championships, our black shirt defense. Why have people missed them? Because people genuinely cared that represented Nebraska over all these years. Now, gentlemen, it's time people missed us. It's time we stepped up, made a commitment to our teammates, to our fans, and to one another, that people will be glad we showed up today, because we're going to make a difference in people's lives. We're going to go out there today, and we're changing Nebraska football from this point forward, because we care, and we want to make sure we'll be missed when we leave here. That hadn't happened before. It's going to happen today. Let's go make Texas sorry we showed up today. Let's go.
I tell you what, last year Nebraska almost knocked off the horn. Mad Hatter, LSU down 1 to Auburn. Time running out. Matt Flynn, Demetrius Byrd, touchdown. Only 1 tick remained when the game-winning score took place. LSU was in field goal range, didn't need a field goal. Stuffed it home with the touchdown, and the hat gets it done and gets the Pontiac game-changing performance. $5,000 into the General Scholarship Fund at LSU, courtesy of Pontiac, after 57% of the voters opted for the Bayou Bengals. If you log on to ESPN.com, search Pontiac. When you vote, you can register to win a $5,000 scholarship for you or someone you love. Pontiac Game-Changing Performance of the Year earns $100,000 from Pontiac. World Series Game 2, tough night for Boston. Neither Boston team has scored so far. Rockies up 1-0. Former Tennessee quarterback, since we want to keep the football theme going here, Todd Helton knocking it in. Matt Holliday, who was a quarterback recruit as well, was 1 for 1 so far. It is 1-0 as they play in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
The Pontiac Performance Halftime Report is powered by Pontiac. Watch this season's best Pontiac game-changing performances at ESPN.com. Keyword Pontiac.
Well, Appalachian State on the road in the big house.
One game. 4 quarters of everything these guys have in them. When suddenly, one play changes everything.
Good hold, and the kick is blocked. Appalachian State has stolen.
That's a Pontiac game-changing performance.
One of the greatest upsets in sports history.
Vote for your favorite at Pontiac.com/NCAA.
The new Dell XPS M1330, designed for performance. Powered by Intel Centrino Duo. Dell, yours is here.
The vest. The arm thingies. More arm thingies. But what if I wasn't around? Who would protect her from life's dangers? Like really shallow water.
Putting minds at ease for 150 years. Northwestern Mutual. Insurance, investments, ideas.
Comfortable in jeans that are tough. I'm comfortable in jeans that fit great. I'm comfortable in Wrangler.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Built tough with 14-ounce heavyweight denim. Built comfortable with a stone-washed finish and relaxed fit. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Satisfaction guaranteed. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
And it has time. Doesn't have a man open and fires for Royal. Did he get his feet in? They're lobbying and they signal touchdown. Review held up that call. A little controversial if you're up in the 617 area code. The only touchdown of the first half as the Hokie defense sacks Matt Ryan twice. Pressures him constantly despite not blitzing a lot in Boston College. An anemic 64 yards in the first half, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia Tech's defense has done exactly what they wanted to do. They've stopped the run, only 10 yards rushing for BC, and they've pressured Matt Ryan. They've made him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Well, we know Matt Ryan's a great quarterback if he's given time. Not many quarterbacks can really do much when they're not given time. May want to make an adjustment here. This half, maybe you want to keep the back in. Andre Callahan may want to slide across and help these tackles and give them a chance because the speed, in my mind, the speed has really hurt Boston College.
Yeah, Chris Ellis, the outside rusher, is really the guy that's wreaked havoc for Boston College tonight. He's beaten both tackles, whichever side he lines up on. I think you need to keep a back or a tight end in, take a little steam out of him as he comes to the quarterback.
BC will get the ball to start the second half. The rain is not falling very hard right now, more of a heavy mist or a drizzle. It's been degrees of rain on and off for 2 days. And Dunleavy, the very deep kickoff, a rarity in college football these days, the touchback, and Ryan will start 80 yards away from the end zone. Let's go to Aaron Andrews.
Chris, Hokies head coach Frank Beamer very happy with his offense and defense, but his biggest concern right now is his center. Ryan Schumann standing right behind me. He is out with a right ankle sprain. Redshirt freshman Bo Warren comes in, and Frank Beamer said this is what concerns him the most. There have been snapping problems tonight. They practiced it a bit at halftime. They're going to practice it more here on the sidelines, but he said just when we thought we got our offensive line together, this happens.
And you got center issues on the Hokies side as well, Aaron. Thank you. Purvis, the tight end, in motion. First play of the second half. Ryan fires, batted down again. What a night Chris Ellis is having.
Right, now Chris Ellis this time read the tendency that they had coming into the game. When the tight end is off the ball, expect a lot of quick slant and flat combinations. He read the tight end off, and instead of rushing, he hung in there and played the eyes of the quarterback.
Yeah, but that young right tackle, that freshman, Anthony Costanzo, he's got to come out there and get the feet out from underneath that in-man line of scrimmage and allow that passing lane to open up.
6 consecutive incompletions now for Matt Ryan. Second and 10. Ryan this time has protection, fires over the middle, and Challenger has it. Kevin Challenger into Hokie territory to the 47 before Xavier Adibi made the stop. 32-yard gain.
This is really where you talk about the matchup zone. And Bud Foster wants his players, we watched it in practice on Tuesday, to communicate. They have to talk and say, player coming, match up with him.
Yeah, one of the Xavier Adibi told us that the philosophy this week is that a quiet defense is a dead defense. If they're not out there talking and communicating, they're going to have problems.
It's the second catch of the night for Challenger. Number 48, the snap is low, pressure off the edge. Ryan intercepted. They say interception on the sidelines. Diving attempt by Brandon Flowers.
Justin Jarvis fell down. The intended receiver was open in front of Flowers. Matt Ryan threw because he had pressure coming from the outside away from him, and Jarvis fell down and Flowers fell into an interception.
Flowers is all ACC a year ago. This is his first pick of the season.
You see here over on the tight end side, he's off the line of scrimmage, another soft underneath passing game, and there's your receiver. You got to go get the ball. You know, we talked about it earlier. Are these receivers up to the level of Matt Ryan?
And before the Hokies can snap the football, they'll take another look via instant replay. And was on this same near sideline down to the end zone to the right of the field. The touchdown stood. Think this will stand?
Well, if they didn't overturn the touchdown, I think they're going to overturn this one either. That was a secure catch by Brandon Flowers. It looks like his left foot and ankle are clearly down before the knee hits.
Clearly?
Well,
I thought they were going to overturn the touchdown.
The knee may hit first.
Yeah.
That's a tight one.
Tall grass.
Break.
Tall grass.
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
Are these numbers right? Yes. Do you know what this means? It means we have doubled in the last 6 months. It means we're going to have to hire more people to move into a bigger space to get those key card things. We'll need to order a lot more wood. What if this continues?
Dave, isn't that kind of the idea?
Citibank Business Banking. Whatever your growing business needs, Citibank's there with guidance and customized solutions to help your business thrive. Come to Citi and let's get it done.
Decisions you make now are yours and yours alone.
We can change things.
You will introduce them to the full measure of American mean.
Lock and load!
You do not respond to an attack with diplomacy.
We can't buy the whole little program.
Do you want to win the war on terror?
Lions for Lambs.
This is a big story.
A Robert Redford film. Rated R. November 9th.
Mint condition!
eBay. Shop victoriously.
Now on DVD.
My name is Optimus Prime.
The movie everyone's talking about is the #1 DVD in America.
Bring it!
Get it fast. Get it now.
Go, 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 go!
Get it while you still can. Transformers. Own it today.
Dedication, hard work, while always looking to the future. That's what makes an ACC student athlete. Me. Developing the best of myself to become a better person. Making it all come together. Achieving. Preparing for tomorrow. Then it hit me. I'm also preparing for the rest of my life.
The Atlantic Coast Conference, striving for tomorrow, today.
We're back. The call stands. This is ruled an interception. Does the foot hit before the knee? And a bang bang with the insufficient evidence to overturn it. So Virginia Tech ball at the 42, and Brandon Orr finds a little room on the right, forced out after about 3 by Jolon Dunbar. Well, we've talked about this Boston College team, guys, and the strange schedule. They open with the 3 conference games, get off to a good start, but then the 4 recent games, Army, UMass, Bowling Green, and a very poor Notre Dame team. Nothing like the speed on defense, the environment they're seeing tonight.
Nothing that Matt Ryan is accustomed to. I mean, he coming into the game, 6 interceptions. He's thrown 1 now. 6 sacks he's had this year, 2 already in the first half. So a much different deal tonight with Virginia Tech.
Glennon fires, low throw, incomplete. So BC trying to knock off the rust, much like the Rockies were trying to do last night in World Series, and walking into a place where the Hokies have been very successful on Thursday night. Both of those Thursday night losses, though, to Boston College, one of them here, and then one of them last year up at Chestnut Hill. So BC says they're not worried about playing under the lights.
They like it, matter of fact. They say they love being on the road. Warriors, loud music, loud everything. Get into the atmosphere.
They need to raise their game, especially on offense. 3rd and 8. Running. Sacks. Nick Larkin has had a good ball game for the Eagles. His 2nd sack of the night.
I didn't like that series. You know, you come out, you get a couple 3 yards on the first down, you run the football. So establish the run. And that's how you protect Sean Glennon.
They don't trust the running game still.
No. They gained 80 yards rushing in the first half. It averaged more per carry by a few tenths than they did coming in. But
so Brett Bowden the punt. Dewan Tribble is back deep. He signals for a fair catch and makes it at the 28-yard line.
Well, our old Flutie Flakes is really wanting to itch to get back in the booth with us. What do you got for us, Flutie?
Are you there, Doug?
All right, so you thought you were rid of me for the night? Not quite that easy, Pony Boy. Boston College offense. Matt Ryan at quarterback, letting it fly, having a heck of a year. Andre Callender in the backfield, running the ball and catching the ball out of the backfield, having a great year. And at tight end, Ryan Purvis. Keep an eye on him.
That was a good pregame scouting report, but after kickoff, they've been bottled up. Ryan in the flat, Callender can't make a man miss. Gets about 5. Cody Grimm on the stop. Those backs, the receivers, Ryan. There's reason to believe that, you know, BC's offense came in there with some confidence, but it hasn't worked out well so far. It's starting up front.
And that's the guy out of the backfield that he loves to go to. I think Callender is the most important guy on this team when it comes to moving it down the field.
And the good news for Boston College, I mean, they're still right in this thing. It's a 7-0 ball game. If he gets hot, it's a tie ball game very shortly.
Ryan. Again, the receiver slipping down. That was Brandon Robinson. You talked about Jagodzinski's frustration about the drops. This was a key play in the first half. Rich Gunnell has a throw. Even though coverage is good, should have made this catch at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I agree. That is a catch you got to make. I mean, your quarterback sticks it in between 2 defenders. It's a hard-fought defensive game. May not have too many opportunities for a big play like that.
He makes the catch. He almost certainly punch it in, and it's 7-7. Instead, that's one of 4 Eagles drops. 3rd and 5. BC just 2 of 9 on 3rd down tonight. Completion, but is it enough? I don't think so.
I don't either.
Callender made the catch, hit immediately. No, he's nowhere near the yellow line.
There's the matchup zone that they were trying to accomplish. That's the way you do an execution right there. Bud Foster on him hard during the week, getting ready for this game, and no down in situation.
Right. Matchup zone, I mean, what that means is it is a zone defense. You're not assigned to a particular man, but if a man comes into your area, you play him like man, and that's why you stop him short after the catch.
The Hokies defense coming in, one of the best in the nation at forcing 3 and outs, and they've done it again tonight. Eddie Royal back deep. Hasn't really been allowed to make much of an impression as a punt returner. Ayers has punted very well. Royal will have a chance at the 13.
That's a block in the back.
And that's a flag.
Yep, they're going to be back inside the 5-yard line. That's not a very smart move by Macho Harris. He's got to pull off of that block.
And the starting corner playing on special teams, as so many of the Hokie starters do. And another 50-yard punt by Johnny Ayers. He's been their MVP tonight.
He's bombing it. He's really given the field position tremendous turnaround.
The Hokies will have very poor field position. They'll mark it half the distance. Flag is at the 10-yard line.
During your return, blocking the back, number 1 of the offense, half the distance to the goal line at the 1st down. We have a timeout on the field. We have an official
mistake by the Hokies, and they'll be backed up at the 5-yard line when you come back, protecting a 7-0 lead.
Dodge Ram, the longest lasting, most durable line of full-size pickups. And with an available Cummins turbo diesel, Ram is the strongest and cleanest full-size pickup ever, helping you to make the most of every mile. Now get up to $6,000 cash allowance and a lifetime powertrain limited warranty on 2007 Dodge Ram trucks.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Think it's time I told my little bro my rules to live by.
Rules.
Chop. Always get chili on your nachos Bel Grande.
A Taco Bell classic, now topped with chili. New chili cheese nachos Bel Grande, only at Taco Bell.
Ask me about two. Ask me about two with authority. And be sure to ask me about two in my house.
Going on now. Go to Foot Locker, Lady Foot Locker, and Kids Foot Locker and get two for $79.99.
Just remember, you've only got two hands.
Select styles only.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Dodge. Live life to the fullest. Dodge. Grab life. And Olivia, award-winning high-definition television.
Now, there's been some waffling among the experts this college football season. It's been very tough. Number 2 has been grilled 3 times in a 13-day span. USC shocked by 40-point underdog Stanford. Cal lost at home to Oregon State. A week ago tonight, USF lost at Rutgers. Number 2 Boston College in a 7-0 hole. A handoff to Brandon Orr on first down. The Hokies, the last time they had the ball inside the 10-yard line, drove 91 yards for a touchdown. They've had poor field position most of the night, though.
I would say one of the keys to that big drive was the quarterback scramble. And so in the locker room, I think Glennon, don't be afraid to take off and run and add that element.
Yeah, and make a quick decision. And for the most part, he did that in the first half. He didn't like what he saw. He took off quickly.
Boston College in this series using a rotation at defensive line. 4 fresh bodies in there for Jagodzinski's team. There's a timeout on the field. Let's check in with Reese Davis in the studio.
Chris, this week's AT&T ESPN All-American Player of the Week is DJ Hall of Alabama. 13 catches, 185 yards, couple of touchdowns, and the Tide's 41-17 beatdown of Tennessee. You can get in on the action. Text the word VOTE to 87654 on your AT&T wireless phone. You might win yourself a trip to the national championship game.
Reese, thank you. Problem with the Skycam, which roams the field on a cable system here. It's locked up, and the crowd pushing its displeasure. A little chance for the Hokie offense to regroup on 2nd and 7.
Well, you just need a little grease, a little WD-40. Had a little rainy night first half.
It's kind of out of the way. It's not over the field of play, except just at the extreme edge of it at this point, about the 15-yard line. Frozen up in the rain. The officials, not something they face all the time, trying to figure out what do we do about this? Right. Can we play? We have to wait.
We've endured a rainstorm.
Jakuzinski having a laugh. He hasn't smiled much tonight.
Crank it out.
He smiled a lot in that media guide, though, didn't he?
He did. If you look in the Boston College media guide, you see every picture of Coach Jags. He's got a smile on his face. We're asking people who knew him, is that a constant? I mean, here he is. There's at the press conference. You know he's happy about getting the job. He's got the hat on up here. He's got a different hat on. He's still smiling. Hey, more chuckles at the press conference. There he's with his family in the upper right-hand corner. He's all smiles all the time.
I talked to Mike McCarthy, head coach of the Packers, this afternoon, and he said, well, he's got a smile. He's undefeated.
Yeah.
You know, and McCarthy was happy for him, too. You know, so he's a blue-collar guy, stays the course, not surprised at all with his success.
Took a job where he inherited an outstanding quarterback.
29 on the game clock. 11:29.
Known for his really good organizational skills. He said he learned, you know, from his time in the NFL how to organize things. He practices a lot like an NFL team. Not a whole lot of contact, just one day of real hitting and less than 2 hours each day.
Well, make sure they understand what you're teaching them and don't blow them away.
His connection with Virginia Tech, he coached the Falcons offensive line in 05, and of course ex-Hokie Michael Vick was there. A 7-0 start, but a perfect record in jeopardy tonight in Lane Stadium. Lennon in the shotgun next to Brandon Orr. And he'll fire short. Nice catch by Josh Hyman. Hammered out of bounds by Tribble, short of a first down. Third short now.
It's a nice call on second down because they moved Glennon out of the pocket. There was a safety blitz inside. Marcellus Bowman was blitzing inside. Had that been a drop back pass, might have been a sack inside the 5-yard line, but a little half roll got him outside.
In the old days, guys, this would have been no problem for the Hokies to pick up 3rd and 1 in their own end when they need it. We'll see if they can get it right now.
And they've had a lot of success of what they've had on the ground today, off the tackles and on the edge.
Weatherford, the fullback, in front of Brandon Orr. Hyman comes in motion. It is Orr tiptoeing near the 15-yard line. Just haven't been able to get that kind of push all season long.
They looked funny coming off the ball on that play, Craig. The line did not come off in unison. They didn't come off with a lot of authority, and Boston College just held the line of scrimmage.
Well, and we're not surprised, are we? I mean, we watched film, a lot of film, and that was the one thing we took away from all of our film study this week, was that the offensive line at Virginia Tech just wasn't together. And it's one guy here, another guy, ball carrier not running hard sometimes.
Good job by Dunbar and Herzlich, the linebackers, to fill those gaps for Boston College, and Bowden into punt. Really low kick. Tribble calls for a fair catch at his 38-yard line. Tribble in no mood to gamble on punt returns on a rainy night. Nice job. Bowden does his job, 47 yards on the punt. 4 races to go. The chase standing is up for grabs. Jimmy Johnson trying to run down his teammate Jeff Gordon. NASCAR Busch Series at Memphis on ESPN2 Saturday at 3 Eastern. And the Nextel Cup race in Atlanta on ABC Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Will it be another championship or the 24 car? And Jimmy Johnson running down. Can BC get the offense going here? Still chasing points. Whitworth is the tailback, and he gets the call. It'll be Whitworth to the 45, picks up 6.
Not a bad idea to get away from the outside and Ellis, right? They're dominating out there with speed. Hit him in the gut.
Yep, try to punch him in the stomach a couple times. See what you can do. Xavier Adibi, the heart and soul in there now without his partner, Vince Hall. Missed his first start in 45 games. Last game out against Duke with the broken wrist. Adibi having to take over the leadership of this defense.
There he is, 3 tight ends in for the Eagles. Cut down is Whitworth. Ryan Martin off the edge.
Ryan Martin's one of those great stories. You know, the blue-collar kid. He didn't have any scholarship offers out of high school. Went to Norfolk State. Then he went to Hargrave Military Academy. Walked on here to be with his younger brother. And then worked himself into being a starting defensive lineman. A blue-collar, lunch pail kind of guy.
He's made 5 tackles tonight. Another third down for the Eagles. Just 2 for 10 in that department. Ryan looks short. Almost intercepted as Macho Harris jumped the route in front of Robinson.
He jumped the route, but again, it was Chris Ellis. His pressure in the backfield forced a wobbly throw. Watch Chris Ellis get right into the face of Matt Ryan, and that ball doesn't come out with a lot of zip, and it enables Harris to jump the route.
You can't have zip when you can't step into the football. We talked about in studying, watching Matt Ryan through the year, that he has a strong arm staying tall, but he really needs to be able to step and deliver a quicker ball with his feet.
Tell you what, I'd put 2 guys on 49 the rest of the game if I was Boston College. He's causing too many problems.
Ryan just 12 of 28. As many punts now as first downs. Royal takes it at the 5. And fights back to the 17-yard line. 50 yards as Ayers continues to boot it deep. Applebee's weekend menu. Talked about significant Saturday in the Pac-10. Ohio State and Penn State. Primetime game on ABC. Can the Buckeyes survive their biggest hurdle of the season? Something the Eagles are trying to do tonight here.
And how about the Trojans of USC going out to a very loud, tough Oregon place to play with a quarterback, Sanchez, that will probably start for them. John David Booty not quite ready to go.
Arizona State has been owned by Cal in recent years. The Bears have been a real nemesis. Right now, meantime, number 2 continues to trail. Glennon, a first down throw. Pump fake. Goes deep. Eddie Royal wide open. Makes the catch. "42 yards. The punt fake got the corner DeJuan Tribble out of the picture.
Yeah, but it really starts up front. The protection to allow the double move was outstanding by this offensive line. And then the arm of Glennon to get it down there. Watch the body work of Royal.
Nice job by Royal using his body to shield Tribble away from the ball. It was slightly underthrown. Royal knew exactly where it was, slowed down and used his body. You see Sean Glennon saying, I didn't put enough on it, but his receiver bailed him out.
Ball at the Eagles 40. And time on the play clock ran out. Brandon Orr, they did signal the timeout from the sideline. Glennon had no idea the play clock was in danger of running out. So they burned the timeout but saved the 5-yard penalty. Virginia Tech in BC territory, up by a touchdown. Midway third quarter.
Only one car lineup offers legendary Hemi power. Music Gate Power Sound System, a MyGig multimedia infotainment system, and more style and performance than ever before. All to help you make the most of every mile. Now get up to $3,500 cash allowance and a lifetime powertrain limited warranty on 2007 Dodge Charger.
Trip, train, draft and drink. Innovative, draft and Heineken.
Go fast now. Go to Walmart today for a special offer on Comcast high-speed internet. You'll get a $100 Walmart mail-in rebate. So remember, just go today and you'll be online by tonight. Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcastic.
Hi, this is Stu, the satellite dish installer. You know, with a storm like this, all my satellite dish customers are seeing is this. But Comcast Digital Starter customers like me are seeing this. That's free movies, music, and more, and the price is so low. I've got to tell everyone about Comcast Digital Starter. Tomorrow.
Take it from Stu and get Comcast for just $33 a month for the first 6 months. Call 866-554-2312 today.
This game being broadcast on ESPN HD, presented by Pioneer Kuro. So the first down throw for Glennon picks up 41 yards and sets up the Hokies at the BC 41. Orr has a little crease. A flag is down in the holding zone to nullify what would have been a nice run for Brandon Orr.
And a nice call by Brian Steinspring. Out of that timeout, they went with the shift, brought two guys over to outflank the Boston College defense, and then snapped it quick and were able to get to the corner, but there was a hold back inside away from the ball.
Penalties a problem for the Hokies this season, and uncharacteristic, and especially a problem for an offense that's had trouble overcoming penalties like this season.
But again, number 8, offense, 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Repeat first down.
It's your guy Boone, the tight end.
Greg Boone with the big hands down the field. Hey, he's had some nice catches and good blocks, but again, you see the perimeter run. The success, you know, for Virginia Tech has been on the corner with the running game.
You see a frustrated Brian Steinspring there. He had a nice call out of the timeout. They march it back.
That's his guy, too. He coaches tight ends. Yeah. He can get on his own guy in the group meeting.
First and 20 now. They fake it to Orr. Lennon looking downfield, trying to find Josh Morgan. And a flag as the ball is intercepted by Jamie Silva. We'll check the flag. Silva has the ball at the 4-yard line.
Jamie Silva has 5 interceptions, but the problem on this one, it was a corner blitz, and that put him in single coverage running with a speedy wide receiver down the sideline. He's not accustomed to playing man-to-man with a fast receiver.
He's much more of a strong safety type linebacker inside, and so when you get an open space like that, it really makes you put pressure on adjusting to the ball in the air.
He was in position, but he just pushes off to go get the football.
Yeah, boy.
Now offensive guys will, defensive guys will say, wait a minute, a receiver can do that all day long and they'll never throw the flag.
Yeah, I don't know about that call. That's. What'd you think, Ledge? Pass interference?
Yeah, I think it was enough.
Yeah, just enough.
Well, offensive guy. Yeah, it's marginal, I'll tell you. But it's a huge penalty because it gives the Hokies an automatic first down at the 36 of Boston College. Orr just can't get the corner. Chased down by Brady Smith. People tuning in to see what is Boston College about. Is this team good enough to get out of Lane Stadium with a win? Are they worthy of the #2 ranking? Remember, the team that's just behind BC in the BCS standings is LSU, and they thumped this Virginia Tech team a 48-7 beatdown on the Bayou. Now, different setting, different time of the season, but people are bound to compare when you're talking about the top of the BCS standings. Ranking the last thing on the Eagles' mind at the moment. Lennon steps up, and he takes a big hit. He thought he had some room to run, but Robert Francois met him.
You know, we've seen Sean Glennon move around pretty decent tonight. One of the things he really did in the offseason, after the bowl game, he didn't play well. He made a real commitment to training and getting himself in better shape. He went and worked with a speed coach and a guy that worked with him on his footwork and his agility. He put a lot of extra work into that. He's still not a Tyrod Taylor type, but he's a lot more mobile than he was a year ago.
It's not the reinvention of Vic at quarterback.
No. I think the difference in Glennon, though, is his mental approach, his psychological approach. It's getting the starting job back on 3rd and 7. Fires complete. It's caught by Justin Harper, but he doesn't have enough for the first down. Silva on the stop. It'll set up a decision for Beamer here.
But to your point about his makeup mentally as a quarterback to lead a top 10 team, that throw right there, going down in distance and field position, looking for 3. You know, move the ball.
You're going to kick a field goal here. John Diddley used 3 of 4 from beyond 40 yards. Pretty solid kicker. This will be from about 45 yards. 10 and 11 superb numbers, and he's got good range as well. Crucial, this for a 10-point lead. Make it 11 of 12 on the season. So the big pass play, they're helped out by the pass interference penalty, nullifying the interception, and the Hokies build a 10-point lead. And the urgency will grow now for Matt Ryan as he gets the football back down 10.
Well, there's still a lot of time in the game, and this is when you count on his poise and his leadership. This is a team that has 17 guys that have already graduated from college, already have their degrees. It's a mature, senior-laden team, and that's what you need right now. You need that poise and that leadership to say, hey, guys, it's 10-0. We got a lot of time. We've been behind before. Let's take care of some business here.
But from a strategic X and O standpoint, there's nothing that we've seen in this half to suggest that they've solved the problem, which is the speed of Virginia Tech's defensive line. And you've got Virginia Tech's secondary now starting to recognize some squat on route.
Well, you're not going to get any faster during halftime in the locker room, so you're not going to match their speed. You just got to do some different things. And again, I think they need to pay a little extra special attention to Chris Ellis rushing off the edge in definite pass situations.
Dunleavy to kick off. Ryan just 12 of 28. Still hasn't hit the 100-yard mark in passing. This is Jeff Smith, a yard deep in the end zone. It's a couple of blocks. Takes a big hit at the 25. Let's go to Aaron. Matt on Matt Ryan.
Chris, this will be interesting to see Matt Ryan's demeanor here. Just over on the sidelines before he just went into this huddle. This is the most fired up I have seen him tonight. He got in the face of every offensive lineman and just started screaming, let's go, this is it, let's go. He has been absolutely quiet this whole night on the sidelines. Right now, that was pretty different.
See if it has an effect. These guys said all week they didn't care about the environment. They didn't care about coming to a hostile stadium. Didn't feel the pressure of being number 2 in the BCS.
There's Ellis.
Once again, they try to get downfield to Callender, and he was well covered by Adibi, the linebacker.
All day they have been forcing the issue with Matt Ryan. They've not let him set his feet and be comfortable, and that's what a quarterback wants to feel. Comfort, rhythm, timing. He has not had that tonight because of the speed and the pass rush of Virginia Tech.
Even on that last play, Fowler, there was holding on the right tackle, Costanzo. He just didn't get called for it.
Matt Ryan was drifting when he threw. He didn't set his feet on that one either.
He's missed 10 of his last 13 pass attempts. Gunnell in motion. Ryan flushed again. A flag flies. It's incomplete. Robinson couldn't hold on. It's in the holding zone again.
And they continue to single block Chris Ellis with this true freshman, Anthony Costanzo. I mean,
they said this guy's a talented guy.
Yeah, he's still young. Face mask. Pulling him down.
Again, Costanzo, the first true freshman to start at the offensive line for BC in 10 years, but a tough assignment going against a senior in Ellis who's approaching 20 career sacks.
Yeah. And he's flipped on both sides. They're moving him around.
Yeah, he spreads the love. He's going right tackle, left tackle. There's pressure. But again, taking the pocket, pushing it to the side, and making Matt Ryan throw on the move.
That time, Ellis pushed to the inside and forced Matt Ryan to get outside.
Face mask. By rule, all offensive face mask penalties are 15 yards. That's half the distance to the goal. Repeat the down.
Frustrating night for that offensive line.
Watch Chris Ellis at the top. Beats the freshman inside right there. He's got him beat. Now that forces Matt Ryan to not be able to set his feet. He's got to get out of the pocket. He's got to go outside and try to make a play. That's not where Matt Ryan makes his money doing that.
Second and 23.
Leave the back end. Somebody help Chip.
Callender and Whitworth both in the ball game. Both go out as pass receivers, and Ryan sacked. Barry Booker got him.
And again,
he spotted it. There was no help for the backs there. They both went out.
They went out. What's going on? I mean, you've got to recognize pressure comes from the outside. You got it on the inside. There's no way that Matt Ryan can look downfield and see anything with people in his face.
Well, that time the right guard and the right tackle just got whipped. It was one-on-one matchups, and both of them got whipped.
Ryan has been sacked 3 times tonight. 33 yards and loss and pressured countless times, and now the noise of Lane Stadium on 3rd and 33.
Play clock's down to 3.
They just get the snap off and make the safe call. Callender dropped for a short gain.
Well, what a defensive possession that was for Virginia Tech.
And what a performance tonight for Virginia Tech.
Well, the defense showed up, and they talked about not allowing Beamer ball to occur. And also, they recognize sometimes you can't do anything about it, right? Defense and special teams.
Haven't really been hurt on special teams yet. The 8th punt of the night for Johnny Ayers is at a very good night. Royal may have a chance at a return. They brought pressure. Once again, Ayers is knocked down. Royal fumbles the ball at midfield. We'll see if they call the 5 or the 15-yard variety. Dustin Pickle is in pressuring Ayers. It is a personal foul, automatic first down. Crucial mistake. And that draws a grimace from the special teams guru.
4th and 31.
Yeah.
Don't even rush
4th and 31. Just you got to go to the side. I mean, it's an acting job by Ayers. But
oh, look at the grimace. Look at the pain in the
Pickle shouldn't even have been close to it.
35, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Well, he got him with the body. The punter's in an exposed position, but that wasn't much of a personal foul.
Yeah, but go in and really take the ball off the punter's foot.
Yeah, you got to come in front of the foot.
Come in front of him. He's beat him so well. He's back there. Go just take the ball off the foot. Not high with your hand, Pickle. Get the ball hands down on the foot.
He put his hands down to try to avoid the contact and ran into him with his chest.
Another chance for Ryan in this struggling offense. Now Ryan is really unsettled tonight. That's too tall for Callender. Doesn't look anything like he's looked in the first 7 games.
You're right. That's the right word. Unsettled. His feet are unsettled. His eyes are unsettled. He's looking at the rush. You know, when a quarterback is in the right kind of rhythm, he sees the field and feels the rush. Right now, he's looking for where the problems are coming from, and he's not comfortable.
And even the throws that he makes look very simple and routine are not happening. 3 for his last 14, and they'll keep it on the ground. This is Callender across the 30, so they gain the first down on the running play.
Well, when you look at this Boston College football team, it has one superstar on the team, Matt Ryan. And when you look at the season, 63% versus 40 tonight. But you can't throw the football if you have pressure on you. You know, and that offensive line is just discombobulated.
And I tell you what, with 10 points down and we're still in the 3rd quarter, I don't think you go completely away from the run either. Try to keep Callender involved running because you need to take some pressure off your quarterback.
Both senior tailbacks in the game, both go into the pattern, and this is a short completion. Wrestled down as Callender. DB on the tackle. He'd be keeping a close eye on number 32 as a receiver. And they saw the damage he did to Notre Dame with those 10 catches.
Like we did with South Florida last week when they were down at Rutgers. You're going to find out, is this the number 2 team in the country? Number 2 team in the country has to score points on the road.
And you said there's a lot of time, Todd, and I agree, but it's getting more urgent by the minute with this crowd and the way the Hokies are gaining in confidence. Gunnell in motion on 2nd and 6. Ryan wants to try a screen one more time, and this is Callender. And great work against the screen. Passes continues. The DB combining with Worlds on the stop.
Well, there's where you see the speed. That was the one screen that looked like it had a chance for Boston College, and the speed of a DB and Worlds flying to the football stopped it for a very short game.
I'd look at a little deal, Todd, where you go over there and you fake a screen left and throw it right. Take advantage of this over-aggressive defense. Run some counters. Do something to take advantage of the pursuit.
One of the best third down offenses in the country coming in. Boston College just 2 of 12 tonight. This one's important.
Well, the good news for BC, Chris Ellis isn't in the game right now. He's getting a break.
A rush 4. Ryan. Again, misfires. He was looking for Justin Jarvis off target.
And again, that's the second or third time that a receiver has had a little trouble getting out of his break. He didn't fall down, but he stumbled just enough to bust up the timing of that route.
I go back again. Andre Callender is a nice player. You know, run some draws with him. Do something to get the hands and take advantage of that defense. Is just pinning their ears back.
Busy night for Johnny Ayers. He's been great, but Coach Jags would like to see a little bit less of this guy. Let's see if they stay away from him. Hokies, instead of a return, nowhere near the punter this time. It's a short kick and bounces backwards. Covered at the 33. Inside of 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hokies back on offense, protecting a 10-point lead. Our ESPNU All-State standings. We'll check out the BCS. BC came in second only to Ohio State. The Buckeyes, of course, facing a test in Happy Valley. There was some thought the Eagles could get out of here with a win. They might be number one. Look at the gap. The gap is key right here. After LSU, it drops off significantly to Arizona State, Oregon, Oklahoma. I think the key thing in the championship chase, will LSU lose a second game or force out of bounds on the near sideline? LSU is going to have to lose another game, I think, for those other teams to get up and pass them in the polls or the computers.
And if Boston College were to lose, how far will they drop? You know, it's that one of those deals. Just Boston College, I'm telling you, man, they got to come in here and win, because there's a lot of doubt in there, and you got other teams down there on the bottom that are looking to jump up.
You saw South Florida lose a week ago and drop down to number 10. The computers still have the Bulls at number 5. I don't think the computers, even though BC is number 1 in computer average, I can't imagine them being kind to BC if they lose this game.
No, I can't either.
Lennon fires far sideline. Royal has to leave his feet to make the catch, so it's a short gain, and it'll set up a 3rd and 3.
Well, this is a situation where when you look at this Boston College team, Todd, they better pay attention. We saw a trickeration package worked on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And Eddie Royal on a reverse.
On 3rd and 3, you're calling for the reverse up 10.
I'm telling you, man, right now you got a chance. You got a chance to get something on him. I would. I'd get Eddie Royal the ball.
The good thing about 3rd and 3 is you got a run-pass threat that's legitimate either way.
Eagles crowd the line of scrimmage. Play action. Lennon fires in the flat, and the fullback reaches behind him and makes a terrific catch. Carlton Weatherford showing better hands than you expect from big blocking fullback.
They had that play earlier in the ball game down by their own goal line, and Glennon overthrew him. This time he throws the ball behind Weatherford, but what a catch by the big fella. Reaches back with the one hand.
Wait,
if fullbacks wear big, heavy shoulder pads, they can't reach back and make that catch.
You guys sound surprised that a fullback can make a catch. Come on now.
He's known for his blocking, big guy. He's not much of a pass guy. The quarterback made that tough on him, but a first down at the 44. Orr steps to his right. There's some room. Brandon Orr, stiff arms and gains about 12.
Billy Height, the running back coach at Virginia Tech, thought that Brandon Orr looked the best this week that he's looked all season. Frank Spaziani watching as Virginia Tech probably running the ball better tonight than they have in a long time, and Brandon Orr for sure.
But against Duke in their last game, you know, they really were poor, especially Orr in the backfield. Not only running the ball, but in picking up or not picking up the blitzing off the corner. So he had to get going today.
Tajee Morris, the corner who forced Orr out of bounds, is down on one knee. Yeah, they've been trying to kind of diagnose what's wrong with Orr physically. You know, say he's lost strength in the right leg. He had kind of a hamstring problem, hampered by ribs. They couldn't figure out what it was. He kind of lacked that explosiveness, that burst. And you guys said height felt like maybe he was coming around a little bit in practice.
Well, they had 12 days to prepare, and he does look a little sharper. I saw him in the opener. I saw him at Clemson. I didn't think he looked healthy at Clemson a few weeks ago. He looks better tonight, but he still doesn't look quite the same as he did last year when he ran for over 1,100 yards.
And you have to give props up to Ed Wang, that right tackle. You know, I mean, they've pushed and they've been able to have some success behind him and getting to the perimeter. So maybe this offensive line really is coming on. We didn't see it in film study,
right?
But they have had more reps out there and they've had some success.
I think what's fun about games this time of season, fellas, is the test for the teams that have navigated this part, you know, undefeated. They're national championship contenders. And now Boston College has 15 minutes and about 25 seconds to come back from a 10-point deficit in a tough place to play. And we're going to learn about this team. First, the defense has to get the Hokies off the field, and Weatherford carries there, and it's a very short gain.
Now, one thing I might want to do if I'm Brian Steinspring, even though you're running the ball with some effectiveness, is maybe take a shot down the field, because there's a new corner in the game. Roderick Rollins has come in for Tajee Morris. If he stays in the game, I'm not so sure I wouldn't take a shot at him.
It has been an inspired lunch pail effort from the Hokies, and they'll head to the final 15 up 10.
The chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup is on ABC, Sunday at 1 Eastern.
Think it's time I told my little bro my rules to live by.
Rules?
Chop. Always get chili on your nachos Bel Grande.
A Taco Bell classic, now topped with chili. New chili cheese nachos Bel Grande, only at Taco Bell.
Some crazy blades out there, so reach for the ultimate balm. Replenishing aftershave balm with Care Protect soothes and repairs the damage from shaving. Only from Nivea for Men.
Dodge Ram, the longest lasting, most durable line of full-size pickups. And with an available Cummins turbo diesel, Ram is the strongest and cleanest full-size pickup ever, helping you to make the most of every mile. Now get up to $6,000 cash allowance and a lifetime powertrain limited warranty on 2007 Dodge Ram trucks.
Every day, workers across America cover our good name with dirt, grease, and mud. And you know what? We're fine with that. Dickies, a legend in work.
Mom, Dad, Buddha's the best.
What if the world you know?
Why don't you get Billy dressed? I'll take him into town with me.
How'd you folks hold up in the storm?
Big insurance day.
Sorry to hear that.
Disappeared before your eyes.
What's going on?
Something in the mist! Shut the doors! Shut the doors!
The only way we're going to help ourselves is to seek rescue.
Tie this around your waist. Let us know you got at least 300 feet.
There's nothing in the mist.
What if you're wrong?
From the master of terror, Stephen King.
Are those bugs?
Not like any I've ever seen.
I promise you won't let the monsters get me.
The Mist. Directed by Frank Darabont. Rated R.
New position for number 2. First time trailing after 3 quarters. The band does the traditional hokey pokey at the end of 3 here. Great Hokie traditions, and see if they can pick up a first down. Around in is Josh Morgan, hammered out of bounds. They quickly snap it. Try the reverse, but Jolan Dunbar, the leader of that defense, there to hammer the receiver.
What was that? A little reverse, huh?
Reverse.
Get them off there. You got to spread the field, use the whole field. This number right here, to me, 121 yards with a Heisman Trophy candidate. That's the top, maybe the top Heisman guy.
Maybe the top guy coming in, but right about now, not. But he still has a whole fourth quarter to make up some ground.
Hokies very 6 of 13, much better than their season average. Or he'd be stacked up for a loss.
What a great play. Great play by Alex Albright. Is that who was over there on the edge?
Mark Herzlich, the linebacker.
Yeah. Great job of keeping leverage, outside leverage. They tried to get to the corner. They tried to outflank him by formation, and Albright did a great job along with Herzlich just keeping outside position.
And again, what you mean by that in that leverage is he came from the inside and he pushed him to the sidelines. He did not allow Orr to get up in the lane.
They believe Albright, just a sophomore, has a huge future at Boston College. Brett Bowden, pretty good this season at dropping the ball down inside the 20. He'll try to pin Ryan deep. You got too much on that punt. He'll sail into the end zone on the fly. Not a good effort by Bowden that time. Bud Foster's defense back to work. Keep waiting, I think, for the offensive line to improve its protection and for Ryan to get going. Haven't seen it yet.
See, the problem and the dilemma is if you want to keep guys in, then that limits the number of guys you have eligible receivers. So far, Steve Logan has still decided he wants everybody out.
Well, but what's the point of having 5 receivers and you got your quarterback on your backside, right?
Or moving his feet too much. Yeah. That's what he's doing tonight so far.
There's a slot right there. You keep him there. Work on this corner. Give yourself.
That's Purvis, one of 2 tight ends. And they'll hand it off to Whitworth.
You know, back in September when they lost to LSU, this defense, they thought they were pretty good, but they didn't trust each other. They didn't play in sync. They weren't playing as a unit, and they were embarrassed down there. And ever since then, they had a team meeting after that game, and Xavier Adebe was very, very vocal in that meeting. And ever since then, this defense has played as a unit, very cohesive under Bud Foster.
Ryan fires over the middle, and Robinson goes to his knee to catch the ball for a first down after a 17-yard gain at the 39.
That's the Matt Ryan that we've seen, you know, where he's just buying a little time, moving up in the pocket, trying to get the receivers open. But he's got to have that composure. He's got to continue to see the receivers.
And if you want to lead your team, and if you want to come into a place like this and win, this is when you have to step up and play, because everybody right now is depending on Matt Ryan. Everybody in that offensive huddle and everybody on that sideline.
5 on the play clock. Play action. Ryan flips it off. He's got the tight end Purvis, and he picks up about 9.
I like the first down throws off of play action. It gives you a little bit better protection. It takes a little bit of the steam out of that Virginia Tech defense. When you get in the shotgun and spread out and they know pass, that's when they've had some problems tonight.
But Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator, he really talks about how he likes to make the adjustments on the fly, recognizing what the opponent's doing and then challenging them.
They've recognized pretty much everything tonight.
Whitworth on 2nd and 1. Second effort near the first down. Didn't think he quite got it. Foster, very intense guy. He's had 12 days to get ready for this BC team. He knows his defense was embarrassed by its performance at Boston a year ago, embarrassed by the game in Baton Rouge. He's been on his guys, and they've responded.
They really have. They played an outstanding game tonight.
Third and 1.
The sneak's there if they want it.
Instead, they run the stretch. Whitworth able to get away from a man in the backfield, but a flag has fallen. They're trying to block Barry Booker. He's been kept trouble all night, and this looks like a hold, and it is.
Booker got such great penetration on the play that it drew the holding penalty. Watch Booker, number 59, just shoot through there, and there's the hold on Cliff Ramsey, the right guard.
Hold? That would be called a hug.
Yeah.
Ramsey, like a lot of those guys up front, has had a tough night.
That is a huge penalty. 3rd and 1. They try to run the stretch play. Now they're all the way back. 3rd and 11. You know what? They thought the ball was on the right hash. They came out of the huddle. The ball was on the left hash. They tried to change formations. Now they have to burn a timeout.
There was mass confusion among the entire Eagles offense. Boston College still has 2 timeouts remaining, but it's starting to get late for the Eagles.
What are you doing?
Making a call.
To who?
Allstate.
You want to think about that?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Idiot.
We didn't set out to be a getaway car or an art car. We didn't intend to be a part of any subculture or pop culture. We didn't set out to play games or to start a religion. We just made the car, the BMW 3 Series, another expression of independence from a company built on it.
I'm a partner with Lee and Nakamura Architects.
What do you think?
Better. But I do business with United Schematic. That's not an elevator, that's a chimney.
Okay.
Malcolm Construction. Phil, they've canceled the cement order.
What should I do? Power up. Take me on, Bobby.
Trescott Electrical.
Look out, look out.
And the Phosphorus Studios, which we've just finished. So I need a network that works where I work. A place called the Nakuni Malcolm Trust for Studios.
The new AT&T works in more places like Nakuni Malcolm Trust for Studios.
Discover something good for nature and your home. From solar-powered lights to water-saving shower heads, the Home Depot's new Eco Options program is making it easier for you to find and choose thousands of alternatives with less impact on the environment. Just look for the Eco Options label on products throughout our stores and get the know-how to help improve your home and the environment at the Home Depot.
Let's get started.
Shrek the Third is finally coming to DVD November 13th.
Shrek, Dougie, and Puss together again.
Okay!
And the critics cheer. He's the new king of comedy.
My butt is itching up a storm.
It's the best Shrek yet.
Awesome!
Gene Shalit Ray's No Ruler is Cooler. Shrek is perfect for everyone.
That sounds fancy.
Be the first to buy the biggest comedy hit of the year. Shrek the Third on DVD and HD DVD November 13th.
Why you always get the first?
Because I have a higher point.
Hey. It's Bobby Bond.
I'm gonna touch him. Now would be a good time to have accident forgiveness. Part of Allstate Your Choice Auto Insurance. Are you in good hands?
Yes, this man's now one of the keys to the game has been BC struggling on 3rd down, often 3rd and long. And again, after that holding penalty, it's 3rd and 11. They have not converted a 3rd down after halftime.
Here's Ellis right here, 49. He's been the guy causing a lot of problems.
Nope. While awaiting trial in
Guilty of what? I don't know, of doing something to hurt.
That time he had protection. He had an opening. He's just a little bit behind on his throw. A lot of bodies in there, but he had a seam.
A quick shot of the greatest hooky ever, Bruce Smith, a guy who can appreciate pressure in the quarterback, one of the all-time greats. Ayers boots it. Royal on the hop. He's trying to set up the wall. Gets a block. And gets the corner and dives across to the 23-yard line. 49 on the punt, 10 on the return as we head back to Reese Davis for a 30-30 update.
All right, Chris, can't be good news for BC when the Red Sox have outscored them. Boston now has a 2-1 lead on Colorado in Game 2 of the World Series. They're moving to the top of the 6th inning. Mike Lowell knocking in the go-ahead run with an RBI double. Some news from football indirectly. San Diego Mayor Jerry Sanders says Qualcomm Stadium will not be available to fire evacuees starting at noon Pacific time on Friday. That could clear the way for the Chargers and Texans to play there this weekend. Sports Center after the game. Stay current at ESPN News.
Reese, thank you. Our hearts go out to the folks in Southern California displaced by the terrible fires. By the way, we talked earlier about Mark Sanchez, the USC quarterback. His father, Nick, is a firefighter in Irvine, California, has been battling those blazes in Orange County. Mark saying his thoughts of it with his dad. He's trying to, keep constant word on where he is, how he's doing. He's certainly proud of his father.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hokies picked up 3 on first down as they try to do some damage, choose some clock here in this possession. Orr has a crease, and Brandon Orr has a first down across the 32. Tyrone Pruitt on the stop. And Brandon Orr approaching 100 yards. That would be a huge breakout game for a tailback who's really struggled this year.
You get the sense right now Boston College is trying to figure out how they can make a play.
They've played pretty stout, but they just haven't been able to knock the ball loose here.
And they had the one fumble recovery and a fumbled snap, could get nothing out of it in the first half. Lennon, he'll throw on first down, swings it near side to Josh Morgan, who's hit immediately over there by Pruitt. A bit of a risky throw, a long throw in the flat.
That ball was in the air a long time, and Pruitt just ripped right through the guy trying to block him and almost got there to knock the ball away.
I circle the linebackers there. The linebackers are the strength of this defense. Jolon Dunbar and that group are the strength. They're okay up front. They're okay in the secondary. But the linebackers playing downhill and making plays is what they're used to.
Tell you what, they have not gotten nearly as much rest tonight as I think they've been accustomed to getting either.
Lennon, short completion. He's got the tight end Boone in traffic, and the big man muscling near the first down marker across the 40. I'll spot him dead before he eventually was dragged to the ground. Again, the only touchdown in this game, somewhat controversial after a discussion. It was ruled inbounds. Royal, did he keep his feet inbounds? Did he have control of the ball with the feet on the ground? He reviewed it, didn't overturn it. I still think it was a very, very marginal play. I don't think he had control.
He didn't. He did not have control of that football. That's just not a touchdown.
It's on the board.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 1 now. Weatherford in front of Orr. Hokies have struggled to get these 3rd and shorts tonight. This time just enough push up front. Orr has a first down.
Again, the one thing that I feel right now for the Boston College defense, you said something about how to make a play. I think in some ways they're trying to figure out how to hold on right now too, because they're used to their offense possessing the ball, hanging on to it, driving the football. Matt Ryan and the offense have not moved the ball tonight. I think the defense is getting a little bit fatigued out here.
And I'll tell you what I'm seeing. The offensive linemen at Virginia Tech setting their pads and their hips coming through. There's some hips that are coming through in the defensive linemen now.
They said having this group together finally healthy, these 5 guys up front, they would hope it would suddenly spark the running game, and Orr able to run through some tackles. Maybe the defense is getting weary, picks up 6.
One of the sure signs of a defense getting a little tired is missed tackles. We haven't seen too many missed tackles out of this Boston College bunch tonight, but there were a couple on that play.
And we haven't seen Brandon Orr this season break many arm tackles either. No. So maybe he's getting into gear.
Again, this was statistically the #1 rush defense in the country coming in. Now, a few of us believe they actually were the best, but Virginia Tech's tripled the average rushing yards of BC's previous opponents. Kenny Lewis now in the ball game, the sophomore spelling Brandon Orr. He's to the right of Lennon. And a snap, just a second on the play clock. You could see Glennon eager to get that ball snapped. Has to fall on it back in the 40.
You mentioned Bo Warren as the center. This is the third center that's played in the game tonight for Virginia Tech. That one
just a bit outside and low. Huh?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Glennon not even thinking about picking up that football, doing the safe thing, falling on it on 10.
Well, like one of your Colorado Rockies pitchers yesterday.
Yes, out of the strike zone. 3rd and 14. Lewis is the long tailback. Lennon wants to go downfield. Looking deep for Royal. Jump ball. And broken up nicely by Tribble.
Lennon's pass intended for
coming into the ball game. Boston College leading the nation with 18 interceptions. Sean Glennon said about half those interceptions have come on deep passes when quarterbacks have just gotten a little bit too anxious, too greedy. That time they had a chance to pick one off, weren't able to come down with the football.
And the net effect, if they had intercepted the ball, would have been like a nice punt.
That interception total a bit inflated because what, 6 came against Bowling Green, right? In a blowout win. Bowden gets the ball away. He'll bounce and roll dead just inside the 20-yard line. 41 yards on the punt. The Heisman candidate, still no points on the board.
This ain't a lunch table, baby. This is a lunch table full of the flavors that bring people together. Applebee's new Pick and Pair lunch combos. Over 60 combinations starting at $5.99. Applebee's. Get it together, baby.
We didn't set out to be a getaway car or an art car. We didn't intend to be a part of any subculture or pop culture. We didn't set out to play games or to start a religion. We just made the car, the BMW 3 Series, another expression of independence from a company built on it.
Critics are raving about Michael Clayton.
What if Arthur was onto something?
A gripping thriller.
I'm an accomplice!
Smart and suspenseful. Heart-pumping.
I look like I'm negotiating.
Michael Clayton. Rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
This is going to be the event that defines the whole season. Oh, yeah!
You got it. Chevy Truck Month, where you'll get 0% financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on the 2007 Tahoe, Suburban, and Trailblazer. That's right, 0% financing on the SUVs backed by the best coverage in America. Better than Ford, better than Toyota.
Get the Chevy Truck Month by October 31st.
See your Southern Chevy dealers or visit southernchevydealers.com.
When you have a Jeep Commander with 3 rows of stadium seating and available exclusive Command View dual skylights, or the Jeep Grand Cherokee with available best-in-class 4x4 capability and MyGig multimedia entertainment navigation system, it's easy to turn your world into a playground.
You remind me who I am.
Welcome back to Blacksburg. The Hokies lead by 10. Here's a guy that I know would love to be in this matchup tonight, linebacker Vince Hall. We'll get to your injury in just a moment. What's been the key for your defense tonight in pressuring Matt Ryan?
I think our key on defense in general, but everybody being in the same gap and just maintain their ball. I mean, all we got to do is maintain responsibility, and good things will happen for us.
Second chance in playing the #2 team in the nation, Chris.
An interception, Aaron. Ryan throws right into traffic, and D.J. Parker, his second pick of the year. And that'll get Vince Hall happy. The greatest defensive player ever coached by Bud Foster, the guy with 365 career tackles, and Ryan pressing.
He definitely pressed on that one. He's trying to make a play, a lot of combination coverages, and DJ Parker just saw the quarterback. He went to double, he felt the ball was coming there and turned and got a quick glance at the quarterback and then went to the ball.
I thought he's a great example of match zone right there. Wasn't it bracketing, finding your guy, getting on him.
Couple of picks tonight for Ryan. Kenny Lewis in the game. Lewis, a good push. Sharon, back to you.
Vince Hall just asked, did I mess it up? How different is this team from the last time you played the #2 team in the nation, LSU?
I mean, in general, we're the same team, but our mindsets right now, it was a reality check for us last game we took. And LSU, I mean, they pretty much did what they had to do against us, but now we back and we knew.
Sporting a maroon cast right here. What's the latest with you? When are we going to see you back on the field?
Well, hopefully I'll be out here right now. But, I mean, what Dr. Seeger's talking about, hopefully Georgia Tech game. But right now I'm going week by week, and I can't wait to get back out there, though.
Boys miss you out there. Thanks, Vince.
I appreciate it.
And thank you. The Hokies will play a week from tonight at Georgia Tech down in Atlanta, interviewing a hurt guy and playing hurt. Aaron, with that voice.
Well, Aaron is showing up an injury list tonight.
But, I mean, to get Vince Hall back, what a huge boost to a defense. And now has gotten its swagger back off this performance tonight if they can hold on the last 5 minutes.
And Frank Beamer said that, you know, we have to get ready for the long run, this stretch run right here. This is the ACC time. And getting a guy like Hall back, then you've got Brett Warren over there, linebacker, with more depth.
Right. And he's played very well, stepping in last week. When he stepped in as a starter, he had 11 tackles. He had an interception. Brett Warren, number 33.
Hey, fellas, a reminder, this is the #2 team in the country going down again. They got to make a play here.
See the clock winding down. The Hokies will spend a timeout. Yeah, just 4:32 to play. Will it be yet another #2 team? BC would be the 4th in a 20-day span to bite the dust. And once again, Virginia Tech climbs back into the hunt here. All the focus coming in on BC's chances as a contender, but the Hokies ranked #8 would certainly muscle back into the conversation.
Absolutely. I mean, it just a Boston College loss here tonight helps Virginia Tech, obviously, and all those other one-loss teams that are just kind of waiting there, hoping to gain ground.
Well, and it also, number 12 right there, Matt Ryan. You know, there are two things that were on display here tonight. First and foremost for Boston College, they want to win the game, and they're #2 team in the country. But they also wanted to support Matt Ryan and his Heisman run.
Yeah, that's in trouble right now.
It's definitely in trouble. And then that last interception, really pressing on it. And again, I just don't think this team, Boston College, I don't think they're a bad team, but they have not played a defense like this defense. Now, they played Georgia Tech in Atlanta. John Tenuta's defense is a good group. They do a lot of different things that you have to read and decipher, but they don't have man-for-man speed, physicality, the athleticism that this defense has.
Guys, they're getting whipped, but again, and we're not making excuses. The weird schedule has to be considered a factor. Lennon wants to take a shot, looking for Royal, and throws their way. Again, BC, a lot of it's for television, opening up with 3 conference games and a very bizarre stretch of 4 non-conference games. All of a sudden, off that, you play arguably your toughest conference game of the season down here, and they just didn't look ready for it.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a whole lot to be said about you play the best to be the best. And when you just aren't going against, when you have Notre Dame and you got UMass, you have Army, things just aren't the same pace, and it really catches up with you.
BC defense did its job on this possession, forcing a 3-and-out on a field goal attempt from Dunleavy. Even if he makes it, it's still a 2-score game. There's still a flicker of hope.
I think the BC defense has done its job all night. Even the touchdown was really questionable.
Dunleavy just 1 miss all season long from 46. It's going to be a pooch punt. The direct snap gets the punt up in the air, and it'll roll dead at about the 8. So rather than a long field goal attempt to go up 13, Beamer decides to pin Boston College deep one more time.
He did this in practice on Tuesday, really worked on it and said, hey, let's work on field position here and get it back where our defense is on the field.
It's getting real late for #2.
Things are starting to feel a little bit, I wouldn't say normal because things are never going to get back to normal, but we've started to feel a little bit better.
You don't want to forget about those people.
People have really come together. This football season is what we needed. I don't think we should let one person stop us from doing what we came here to do and start a career and have.
The new Dell Inspiron 1520, powered by Intel Centrino Duo processor technology. Dell, yours is here.
Mark and Laura, 30 when they finished graduate school, repaying student loans, and then 2 children. Behind the 8 ball? Yes. But drawing on the independent spirit that took them backpacking from Pittsburgh to Panama, they started working with people at TD Ameritrade, using planning tools, guidance, and research to help them catch up and move ahead. TD Ameritrade. Independence is the spirit that drives America's most successful investors.
We didn't set out to be a getaway car or an art car. We didn't intend to be a part of any subculture or pop culture. We didn't set out to play games or to start a religion. We just made the car, the BMW 3 Series, another expression of independence from a company built on it.
When hot, molten rock, ash, and gases erupt and escape from deep below the surface, it often results in a touchdown. For those who have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar, eating good in the neighborhood, and in part by BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Now they cranked up Enter Sandman in the break, got the crowd going, the Hokies on the bench jumping around, and one more time, Chris Ellis in the face of Matt Ryan forces the incompletion.
This week during practice, they didn't pipe in crowd noise. What they did was Matt at the line of scrimmage would kind of whisper. And he really wanted his teammates in this situation right here to pay attention and really focus on him at the line of scrimmage.
Urgency in this possession for Boston College, down 10. Ryan fires behind Brandon Robinson and makes a nice adjustment and collects it at the 33 for a 25-yard gain.
Well, we just haven't seen very many throws at all that have been down the field. Everything has been short underneath. Everything has been under duress for Matt Ryan for the most part. That time as receiver, Robinson did a nice job of coming back for the ball.
And Ryan did a nice job of staying in the pocket, stepping up and buying time to throw it deep.
Fires over the middle.
Oh, beautiful.
Completion into Hokie territory. Again, it's Robinson working on Macho Harris, 22 more yards.
That was a beautiful touch pass by Ryan because it has to go over the linebacker but drop down in front of the safety. That's a difficult throw.
Bud Foster right now needs to realize, and I'm sure he is, if you play soft against Matt Ryan in a zone and you don't match up when they come across you, he's going to find the receiver.
Well, there are very few guys that are going to make that throw against your defense, and I think Bud Foster knew the guy just made a great throw.
Purvis, the tight end, next to Callender in the backfield. Ellis pressure off the edge, and Ryan has to throw it away one more time. They just have not been able to handle number 49 at all.
And the tight end was in the backfield, Chris. The tight end was back there and leaked on through on his own. You got to chip block. That just a little bit of just nudging it.
And now they make some replacements. You see Ellis coming off. They bring in 4 fresh pass rushers on 2nd and 10.
You mentioned urgency, and I agree completely. Boston College has to score on this drive. And I think they need some points, but I think a touchdown, they're going to be thinking right now touchdown.
There he is.
This is the tight end, and Purvis has a lot of room. That's the first time tonight we've seen an Eagle receiver catch the ball and nobody around him.
And he came out of the backfield.
Yeah, it was a little delay.
A little delay. He's out of the backfield. Those linebackers, Xavier Adibi and those guys have got to pay attention to the underneath passing game.
20-yard gain. So 3 big pass plays in the drive that began with the Eagles at the 8-yard line. Carried it to the 27 of the Hokies. Ryan, pump fake, steps up, and a run. And a nice slide. I've seen better looking slides than that. Kind of a stumble.
Flutie's going to have to come back and teach him how to slide.
He got the first down. It worked.
Well, the good news is he got enough for a first down, so the clock stops until they move the chains. Challenger, Brandon Flowers fell down. Challenger was open right from the snap, but Matt Ryan had already taken his eyes downfield.
Pressure. That's what pressure does. Won't let you see downfield.
Clock running out, 2:34 in the ball game. Whitworth and Callender in the backfield. Both into the pattern. Ryan. Has to throw it away. Adibi was all over Andre Callender.
What's happened tonight, there's been so much consistent pressure that Matt Ryan, even a senior quarterback who's played so much ball here, is moving out of the pocket even when he doesn't have to move out of the pocket. He's moving his feet even when the rush is not making him move his feet, because it's just been that way for the most part the whole night.
And again, this is where that offensive line has to understand the situation they're in, where they are, and allow Ryan to stay in the pocket.
And Craig, they brought in the 18, the starting 4 defensive linemen return for this snap for the Hokies. Ryan throwing to the end zone. Rich Gunnell didn't break to the post. Ryan on his backside. So miscommunication continues.
How can you allow a freshman time after time on the outside to have the responsibility of Ellis?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's the best they got, I guess, at that position right now.
Help him out.
Third and 10. Ryan for the end zone. Caught for a touchdown, Gunnell. He beat Macho Harris with a beautiful throw, and finally, BC on the board. 2:11 to play. I'll check the call on the far side. I've had a couple of reviews already. Did he get the feet down?
Well, remember, Gunnell is the guy who had the one bounce off his head earlier. Catch, foot, yes. Right foot down before the left foot hit. That is a perfect throw by Matt Ryan.
You know what? That's better than the throw that he made against Georgia Tech, maybe. I mean, that is, he threw that football in anticipation of a spot coming open.
They will take a look at it, as they should on all close calls. If it stands, a 92-yard touchdown drive in 2:05 for the Eagles. They didn't have to burn a timeout.
Well, that one didn't look nearly as close as the one that Virginia Tech got earlier in the ball game.
If they overturn this one and not the other one,
it's the right foot that he needs down, and he's got that inside the line. I think this will stand. And if it does,
and that's a Heisman drive there.
Yes,
fellas, that's making some plays. He scrambles, runs, gets the first down.
Got more work to do, though, Coach.
It ain't over, is it?
No. Panavicius will come on and try to make it a 3-point game, and then the Eagles defense will have to get the football back. You have to believe they'd use those timeouts on defense.
Yeah, just wondering now with 2:11 whether you go onside kick or whether you kick it deep and hope you can stop them with the 2 timeouts.
And you know, you lost one timeout at Boston College on that time they came out of the huddle, wrong hash, they messed up, had to call time, wasted it.
After video review, the call on the field stands. It is a catch and a touchdown.
Now Ryan, 4 of 8 in the drive. He had 81 yards passing. He had the 11-yard scramble and stumble for a first down. But you're right, that was a solid drive, the kind of drive you'd expect from Ryan. Is it too little too late?
And this is a crucial extra point. He's missed 3 this year. This one means a lot.
former walk-on, came on and was the hero a year ago against the Hokies up at Chestnut Hill. Boots it through. Can number 2 rally? Let's take a look at the 2 touchdowns, both close calls on the sideline. Does Royal have it? Is his foot in bounds? They called it on the field, then the replay upheld it. This one also called a touchdown. Appears to be a little more clear cut.
Well, now the pressure shifts back over to Sean Glennon at quarterback, trying to go out and to find first downs and chew up the clock and not make a mistake.
I think Tom makes a good point, though, Craig. What would you do? Would you go for the onside kick, gamble to getting the football back to Ryan, or would you kick it deep and play defense?
I think I kick it down the field. You got 2 timeouts to go. You know that Virginia Tech is going to be conservative. You know, it's not a shoo-in that they can run the football, so they're going to be conservative. And as a former carrier, I know you hate to do that, and you're going to be out there protecting the ball, not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think you kick it deep. You try to get them 3 and out and use those timeouts, and then give the ball back to Matt Ryan with no timeouts. But you got to get a good kickoff and good coverage, because you can't allow them to get that ball out in good field position.
And the wind in the second half has changed from left to right, so held a little wind behind him.
Benavish is not the ideal kickoff guy, been forced into that duty because of injury, and he's not known for a real strong leg. Royal, to return this kick, is standing up at the 25-yard line, and they got the hands team in there.
Virginia Tech's playing for the onside kick. They've got everybody up.
It will be an onside kick.
Oh, it's loose. It was hit first by a Virginia Tech player, so that ball is live.
Eagles say they have it. It didn't travel 10, but a Hokie touched it first, and that puts it in play. Josh Morgan, the receiver on that hands team. And Tyrone Pruitt, number 48, comes up with the recovery.
Wow.
So they do gamble. They take the approach. It doesn't go the 10 yards, but look, stepping up to try to field it is Morgan, and he can't come up with it. Had a chance to gather it in. Purvis, the tight end, knocked it loose. Pruitt falls on it.
Wow. You're talking about momentum shifts in a football game. And I guess Jags was thinking, look, we're going to hold him at midfield and we'll get Ryan the ball back. And if he's got to go 90, he can do it. He's got that much confidence in the quarterback.
But it's not midfield. You're kicking from the 30. They already got it on the 40, on your 40.
BC at the 34, 2 timeouts, 2:07. It's Purvis. Tiptoeing up near the 40. Remember, Benavish is not a long-range kicker. Very unreliable from beyond 40 yards. So they really need to move the ball deep into Hokie territory. Guys, he's just 1 of 5 from beyond 40.
Rush 3, drop 8. That's worked for them at Virginia Tech all night, which is what they did on first down.
Second and 5. They bring the blitz. Delivered. Robinson makes the catch. Almost slipping free. The ball is loose. They say down. No fumble. No fumble. So Robinson picks up 20. And BC is at the 41-yard line.
Boy, Robinson showed some strength fighting Victor Harris for the football. Harris was in position, and Robinson just flat out wanted the ball more on that play.
But really, maybe the first blitz we've seen tonight from center field. And you know what? When you come blitz in and you go man in that secondary down there, you're in trouble against Matt Ryan.
Whitworth and Callender in the game. Ryan against the 3-man rush, steps up and delivers a strike across the middle. That's Gunnell collecting in traffic, and Ryan a different quarterback suddenly.
Now, the 2-minute offense is all called by Matt Ryan on the field. Steve Logan doesn't call the 2-minute. Matt Ryan has complete control calling the 2-minute offense, and right now he's calling his own number.
And we're now seeing Matt Ryan, the Heisman Trophy candidate.
2 timeouts still, no sense of urgency right now. Well, he's got to use one of them. Didn't like the personnel grouping.
That's a good call. Good call.
Well, the last drive was a marathon march. BC shut out until Ryan went to work. They gave him a few openings in the secondary. He began to take him. He ran for 11 yards and a first down, and there's the touchdown. The beautiful throw to Gunnell, who just gets the toe in bounds.
I've been on these wide receivers tonight, right? I mean, I haven't been real complimentary of them, and they have stepped up. Yeah. They have stepped up. In this quarter, this unit has made some plays.
They've made some tough catches. They've fought for the football. They've gotten some separation, gotten some openings.
Again, guys, I think with a field goal kicker that's not real comfortable beyond 40 yards, Banabashis has a 45-yard career long, and that's about where they would be if they attempted it at this point. I think they're thinking end zone here.
I think you do think end zone because you've got Virginia Tech's defense on their heels a little bit. After the last drive, the botched onside kick, I think you keep going aggressively for the end zone here.
Remember their mindset. Touchdown to check down when they get close.
Ryan on the run. Comes back to the near side. Fires complete. On the sidelines, out of bounds at the 14 is Kevin Challenger.
Boy, what a great job by Matt Ryan. And for the first time, I saw a chip on Chris Ellis. Callender took a little piece out of him that time. It allowed Ryan a little extra time.
He scrambled 50 yards to gain 12 on the pass.
But again, wide receiver working to get an opportunity for the quarterback, and Ryan not real quick of feet, buying time till Challenger could come open.
Now here's where you got it. Now any throw you make, you can throw to the end zone if you want.
This really does come into play when they talk red zone, which is touchdown to check down. They're looking in the end zone for 6.
There's only 4 on the play clock.
Another chip on Ellis.
Ryan pressured. Fires over the head of Purvis. Put it in a position where it really couldn't be picked off.
But don't you get the idea and the sense watching Ryan? He may be buying time back there, but he's not going to take a sack.
No, he knows he can't take a sack, even though he's got that one timeout. They're in field goal range right now, so he can't take a sack. You can be aggressive and go to the end zone, but don't take a sack and force yourself to have to go for the touchdown.
Well, there's that one timeout remaining for BC, and I really believe that Virginia Tech may have an empty gas tank on that corner. They've been having success out here. They got to make a play.
Ryan flushed out. A flag is down as he fires to the end zone for a touchdown. Gunnell catches it, but Jagosinski knows this one's coming back. Looks like another hold.
Well, and again, it all starts with the pressure. When you get beat up front, you have to hold.
Yeah, Cliff Ramsey, number 73, is the guy that was caught for holding Corey Robertson, who got that inside push. Well, but you can't take away what a tremendous effort that was by Matt Ryan. Rolling to his left, throwing back to his right to the end zone.
Hands on the hips in the secondary. Everybody out there is gassed. This is reach deep time.
You're right, Greg. This defense has been so dominant all night. Now the Hokies just trying to hang on. And they've got some work to do to get into comfortable field goal position. 27 seconds and 1 timeout. Ryan fires. He tried to find Robinson on the slant. Now it's 3rd and 20. And I think they need to begin to think about field goal position.
Now I think you got to think a good solid completion and use your timeout. Good solid completion, let the play clock and the clock run all the way down to about 4 seconds. Call your timeout and try to kick it and put it into overtime.
Banabashis, the former walk-on, the guy who played significant role in the win over Virginia Tech a year ago after coming out of the crowd. He was a regular student watching football. Really get a chance here to force overtime.
10 to 12 yards is what you're looking for right now if you're Matt Ryan.
Plenty of time. Cannot take a sack here. Ryan will fire.
Oh,
the end zone. Wide open for a touchdown is Callender. And Lane Stadium goes silent with the 11 seconds to play. No, those are 2 Heisman drives.
Oh, my goodness. You know, buying the time. And how about it? Matt Ryan, in his mind, is thinking I can run and set up a field goal, but I am also looking down the field, and I find a guy, and I got a touchdown.
And that's the difference between a young quarterback scrambling who's thinking run and a veteran quarterback who's thinking keep my eyes downfield to the last minute before I have to make a decision. My goodness.
4th touchdown reception for Callender. He had a very quiet night that kept an eye on him, guys, all evening long. They had not let number 32 hurt him. And on the final crucial play, he gets free.
And I'm not sure he was looking to throw to the end zone here, but when he started moving out of the pocket on the 3-man rush, he was able to pick up Callender with his great vision and get that ball to the end zone.
How about the strength? How about the strength to be able to throw the ball back across the field, across your body? And Callender again coming up big out of the backfield.
Coach Jag showing some hops and looking to stay perfect in his young coaching career.
But how about Matt Ryan?
Oh, Jag's got the worst of that. Ryan knocked him down.
He did. I don't think he cares right now. He's got that smile. Another picture for the media guy.
Wow, they score 14 points in the last 2 minutes after being shut out all night.
Three guys rushing again. You know, the decision drop 8, so there are a lot of folks back covering and really hoping they can force an underneath play for the field goal.
The amazing thing to me is he did that a couple plays ago, and there was the holding penalty, and it negated it. He scrambled, he bought time, he threw it across his body, touchdown, no penalty, bring it back. 2 plays later, he does it again.
And there's once again magic in Lane Stadium on a Thursday, but it belongs to the visitors. Boston College, history shows the one team that can come in here in a night game on Thursday and come out a winner. And Ryan, 5 of 7 on that drive for 76 yards in a game with huge repercussions as fans of LSU and Arizona State and Oregon and Oklahoma all looking in, hoping that Boston College would go down. The squib kick. Hokies will fall on it.
But it goes back to Coach Jagodzinski's decision to go for the onside kick.
Yeah,
you know what?
absolutely.
He doesn't kick the ball deep, and he you know what? Nowadays in college football, you got to take a victory. You can't just hope that it comes to you.
Gets the onside, and Matt Ryan, again, the NFL arm strength right here. Got no body into it at all. His body is drifting left. Both feet are off the ground, and it's all arm to the end zone for 6.
This is the play that set it up. Josh Morgan, number 2, unable to collect it. Ball knocked free by Purvis and covered by Pruitt. And that tired Hokie defense had to go right back on the field, Greg.
Well, Les Miles at LSU, all the 4th downs and the conversions and all of the things that now you got Jags going with an onside kick, taking a victory from Lane Stadium.
Hokies have 1 timeout. Lennon, they'll throw short, trying to find Hyman over the middle to maybe set up the Hail Mary. Now they've got just 8 seconds.
You know, we talk about Matt Ryan, and rightfully so. Those last 2 drives, I mean, he proved why he is a Heisman guy. But let's not take anything away from the BC defense either. They came in here with great numbers, and we wondered how good they really were. They held Virginia Tech to 10 points. And when they were threatened late in this game, when Virginia Tech looked like they could have extended it, the defense held up and held it to only 10 points and gave their offense a chance.
Well, this is an offense that had 121 yards after 3 quarters. Now they're over 350. I mean, that's significant. That's character. That's how a championship team survives the season.
Boy, oh boy. Matt Ryan, of course, not the first quarterback at Boston College.
He's early.
Heroic.
Here he goes. He's giving it up. He must have hit Jags too hard.
This is, of course, Thanksgiving back in '84. Our normal partner in the booth, Flutie, beating Miami. That was a sparkling season, and this may become a very special season for the Eagles thanks to that completion in the end zone. 2 seconds to go. Again, they throw short. And this, not quite as dramatic, not quite as far, not quite as hopeless, but perhaps more significant because the Eagles stay alive for the national title.
Absolutely, man. Number 2 team in the country making a drive and a play like that, coming out and playing the 4th quarter like that.
Yeah, they showed me something.
No doubt.
This 4th quarter, they showed me something.
That'll make you jump on the bandwagon quick, won't it?
The Wrangler player of the game after his worst ball game perhaps of his career turns it around in the last 4 minutes. Lennon Desperation time. That's a trick play. The lateral around. This is Royal, and Royal is hammered, and Boston College has rallied at Lane Stadium. 14 points in the last 2-11, thanks in large part to the senior quarterback. And Lane Stadium's crowd leaves stunned. Perhaps these teams will hook up again in the ACC championship game down in Jacksonville. The Hokies would still have to be considered the favorite out of their division. They still control their destiny. Perhaps another crack at the Eagles, another chance to spoil their season, but this is bitter tonight for this crew.
Unbelievable. I mean, for so much of this night, they had this game in control. Their defense had Matt Ryan completely in check. They had him flustered. They had him unsettled. And then the last 2 drives, it all slips away.
We saw the jubilant Jagosinski. He's now with Aaron.
And he just grabbed his quarterback, Matt Ryan. First, Coach, we have to ask you, down by 10, late in the 4th, what is going on in your mind?
I told our guys at halftime, don't you dare look up until the end of the game, and we'll go ahead and win this thing.
Tell me what the difference in those last 2 drives were.
We started making plays. Let me tell you, this guy right here, how about this guy as a winner?
How about this guy? For you, what was the difference for you in those last 2 drives?
Well, you know what, guys stepped up and made plays, made big catches. Brandon caught the ball in traffic, did such a great job, and you know, we just kept confidence the whole time. We stayed confident and came away. This was a hell of a win.
Coach says you're a guy, your mindset, your face doesn't change, but what was your mindset as time was winding down?
Well, you know there's still time left on the clock. You know you still have a shot and you still got a chance. We've been in this situation so many times through the course of the year in practice, and we prepared ourselves really well. Steve Logan does a great job as our offensive coordinator and getting us ready for those situations. So we were prepared to do it, and we just came out and made plays.
What did you feel you proved here tonight?
I don't know about that. I don't know if we proved anything. We just won another ACC game, and you know, we're trying to keep winning and keep making strides toward getting to the ACC championship.
Guys, thank you. Congratulations.
Aaron, thank you. Low-key and level-headed, maybe the best way to try to navigate the hazards of being a BCS contender. They look nothing like that for most of this game tonight, but Ryan and the Eagles rally in the final 2 minutes, beat the Hokies. And everybody else in the country will have to reckon with this team down the stretch. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. SportsCenter is up next. We're back here at Lane Stadium for more coverage. For Craig, Todd, Aaron, I'm Chris Fowler. We'll see you shortly on SportsCenter.
I don't hold my tongue for nobody. If I got something to say to Ray, I'll say it to Ray.
This is SportsCenter.
Looked like the nation's number 2 would go down for the 4th straight week, but BC with the bananas comeback, we're going right back out to Blacksburg. After an offensive explosion in Game 1, Game 2 turns into a pitcher's duel. See who broke through in Beantown. And as the wildfires continue in Southern California, see how its effect on the sports world is far-reaching, plus the latest on the Chargers' future. And David Stern says half of the league's refs have broken rules on gambling. Hear why the NBA commissioner will not punish them. I know. How is mine right now?
It's work, but I appreciate you trying.
All right, what's good? SportsCenter on 2 turntables. Stuart Scott and Neil Everett coming up. Red Sox trying to go for double figures in 4 straight postseason games. They already got the record of 3 last night. All the highlights and analysis of World Series Game 2 as soon as it's done.
Yeah, we're going to kick off with Thursday Night Football on ESPN. Many of you just saw the number 2 team in the country break that number 2 team in the country jinx. Let's go to Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, and why does it always rain on me? BCS 2 Boston College against BCS 8 Virginia Tech. Sean Glennon going to get the quarterback nod. Tyrod Taylor, he's injured first quarter. Glennon 3rd and 7 at his own 27. Eddie Royal over the middle, 21 yards, and it's a first down. Same drive, different quarter, 3rd and 7. Glennon scrambles right, end zone. Royal, no signal at first. Look at the referee. Did you see it? I didn't see it, man. Did you see it? I saw it. I'm going to say I saw it. This is what we all saw. So what did you think you saw? Foot down, ball caught. But does he have possession? Foot out of bounds. Now he's got possession. So what did they say? Well, they called it a touchdown on the field. Got to be. They did not overturn it. Virginia Tech gets 7-0 and they won their last 34 when scoring first. Matt Ryan, our Craig James said he's your Heisman man right now. Did not look Heisman in the first half. He fumbles there, lost at 13. Next Boston College possession, under pressure again. Remember, this is BC's first conference game in 6 weeks. Ryan throws it away. Boston College down, trails at the half for just the first time this season. Had just 10 yards rushing in the first half, third quarter. And, well, Ryan's receiver falls down, and Brandon Flowers says, thank you very much, I'll take that. And Virginia Tech has the football. Later in the third, same score, Hokies with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Off play action, Glennon pump fake. Royal deep down the right sideline, 42 yards. That leads to a Virginia Tech field goal. And they look like they're in good shape, up 10-0. Boston College can't get anything going. They got Ryan under control. Here he's intercepted by G.J. Parker, second of the game. And with 6 minutes left, it looks like Frank Beamer's squad has got this one in the bag. 2 minutes to go. And here comes Matt Ryan and Boston College. Touchdown pass there to Rich Gunnell, and all of a sudden we've got a 10-7 game after the extra point. Now, Frank Beamer, he's in the special teams coaching Hall of Fame, but his boys let him down on the onside kick. And how many onside kicks have you seen executed where the team executing the onside kick recovers? Here, Boston College gets it, and Ryan goes to work. We're under a minute to go. He's scrambling around. Doug Flutie not calling this game, by the way. I think he's at Fenway Park. But Ryan is trying to channel it to Kevin Challenger right there.
I thought it was Gerald Phelan for a second.
Well, Phelan's going to make an appearance here very shortly for those of you who watch. 20 seconds left. It's a 3rd and 20. Again, Ryan, and he throws a cross body.
Get out of here.
That's the kind of throw where Craig James says, see, that's why I told you that guy's my Heisman winner. Coach Jagosinski says, oh, yeah, we remain undefeated. Unbelievable comeback in Blacksburg.
Not a cool
Boston College. Hey, here's another look from up top. This will be our Phelan look, because we'll give Andre Callender. He'll reprise the role of Phelan, and Ryan wearing 12 instead of 22 goes end zone, and he gets it done. And Boston College comes back with 14 late to shock Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. Matt Ryan, 25 of 52, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns. The 2 picks we showed you, he's 22-4 as a starter. And I'll tell you what, if you're Frank Beamer, the athletic director of Virginia Tech, do not schedule Boston College on ESPN on a Thursday night. Virginia Tech is 13-3 on Thursday nights on ESPN. All 3 losses to Boston College. All 4 of Boston College's remaining opponents have records above 500. They've got at least 2 losses in ACC play. The teams on this schedule: Florida State, at Maryland, at Clemson, and then Miami, Florida. Boston College runs the table, currently 2 in the BCS. You would expect to see them in that big money game. Now, it looked like it was going to be the jinx of number 2 continued. Of course, remember 3 weeks ago, perhaps the biggest upset of the year, number 2 USC loses to Stanford by a point. Pete Carroll's club takes that loss. They got a big game at Eugene this week. This was at California, who had won at Eugene, and then they moved to 2 in the BCS. And Oregon State, Mike Riley's Beaver Nation, beats them by 3 and shocks them at Cal. Then last Thursday, number 2 South Florida, a game on ESPN. They go up to Rutgers, and last year's Cinderfellas knock off this year's Cinderfellas, Jim Levitt's club, and that was no good. And then tonight, until Ryan starts channeling Flutie, it looks like Boston College and another number 2 are going down. But he heard what Craig James said. He said, I got to play Heisman-like, right, fellas?
Well, Lane Stadium is certainly stunned. Boston College dodges the upset. Like the other 3 losses by number 2 teams, this game came down to the final seconds, and it was a completely different football game in the last 4 from the first 56 minutes.
Yeah, well, first of all, like I told you, there was plenty of time for Boston College, right? But I'll tell you what, this game showed me a couple things. Number 1, Boston College coming in here as the number 2 team. They didn't play a great ball game, but they did what championship teams have to do. You got to find ways to win. You got to get it done when the game's on the line. And then for Matt Ryan as an individual, Heisman-type guy, he proved it tonight. I mean, he showed because his supporting cast is not a great cast around him. And those last couple drives, he was spectacular.
Well, a few things really stood out to me here tonight. It was one of the deals where it's my first night game at Lane Stadium. Very intense, very emotional. They came in, and they withstood the pressure of the crowd. The wide receivers at Boston College didn't show up for the first 3 quarters. They showed up in the fourth quarter. Matt talked about it after the game when he said our receivers went out and made some plays. Matt Ryan scrambling around. He's not the fastest guy on the field, but the guy bought time for his receivers to get open 4 or 5 different occasions on that last drive. I mean, the guy was unbelievable at buying time and not giving up and just going for the field goal, but keeping his eyes downfield for the touchdown.
And they shut out until the final few minutes. They drive 90-plus yards for a touchdown. And then Jagodzinski elects, despite the fact that he had 2 timeouts, to use an onside kick. Right. And Josh Morgan, he's one of the receivers for the Hokies, on the hand seam up there, couldn't quite collect the ball short of the 10-yard mark.
He did the right thing. You're taught to go get the ball, make a decision, go for the ball. Morgan probably makes that play 9 out of 10 times. Just didn't do it tonight.
And you would have expected a wide receiver to be able to make that play. And this is the touchdown. Matt Ryan buying time, but never left his eyes from downfield. Finds Callender in the back of the end zone. The Hokie defense kind of took a little bit of a break on that scramble, and they get the touchdown.
Which you can understand, guys, because when a quarterback is moving that far and that hard to the other side of the field, the likelihood of him being able to throw back across the field, across his body like that deep, is not good. Jags takes a blow. The offensive lineman, he goes down to the QB.
He didn't mind. He's all smiles. Ryan, you can see, far more effective in the last 2 drives than he was the first 12 drives of the ball game. This has repercussions. Obviously, BC continues to have command of its division in the ACC. They could get a rematch with the Hokies in Jacksonville. This loss doesn't really hurt Sean Glennon and the Hokies' chances. It's a painful loss for sure for the guy forced into starting duty with the injury to Taylor, who's expected back pretty soon. But for the national championship, Chase, you have to ask yourself the question. The computers will continue to like BC. The pollsters, though, what do you think? Would you continue to vote BC number 2 if you had them 2 coming in? They didn't quite handle this team nearly as easily as, say, number 3 LSU did earlier in the year.
I have not had them that high with my ballot. Right. I've had them at 10. I mean, I really have been waiting to see this football game, to see what kind of character and team they had. I got to tell you, I'm on the bandwagon, man. To come in here with the character that they had, they deserve to be number 2 in the country right now. Impressive win.
I'm impressed with them, too. Now, I saw LSU last week. I still think, to me, they're the best team that I've seen in person, but they didn't look as good the last couple weeks as they did September 8th when they played Virginia Tech. So a lot of things changed during the course of the season. I still think what BC did tonight was impressive because they came in here and they stole one at the end in a game that they were pretty much outplayed for a good portion of the game.
And for a rookie head coach in college football, Jagodzinski does a good job. It's very narrow focus, very businesslike, very matter-of-fact. You wonder if his Eagles can keep it together now for 4 more regular season ACC wins against teams that all have winning records and then win a conference championship game. If they can do all that, who knows? It could be one of the longest of long shots in a championship. Long way to go, but they cleared a major hurdle here tonight in Lane Stadium with a dramatic rally for the ages.
Well, Matt Ryan in the first half of this ball game did not look Heisman-like. He was 14-33, and they had nothing on the scoreboard. Last 2 drives, 9 of 15, 157 yards in the air, 184 yards total, comeback win. And Boston College 8-0 for the first time since 1942.
As the NFL gets set to play in London, hear why Jerry Jones says he won't bring his Cowboys abroad, but why he may be forced to go anyway. You cannot miss which team Sean Salisbury says is the most immature, meaning their head coach firmly on the hot seat. And Junior Seau may be a Patriot, but his roots are in Diego, how the devastating wildfires are affecting him and other athletes.
The Ford F-150 is equipped with vented disc brakes, standard on all 4 wheels. They're vented so they stay cooler, perform better, and maximize stopping power. So even though you'll probably never have to haul a 30,000-pound aircraft, at least you know you can stop one.
The new game demands today's stars show skills at a whole new level. The new RBK Edge uniform is designed to get them there. Bold, breathable, lightweight. Built for speed and power. Put one on and feel how the game has evolved. The new RBK Edge system. Evolution of the hockey uniform. now playing at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Sports Center, brought to you by the Ford F-150, built Ford tough. And Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Just gave you 2 and 8 from the BCS. Get you ready for the weekend. Number 1, Ohio State at Penn State. Joe Paterno delivering pizzas to those camped out for the best seats. Your best seat, ABC, 8 Eastern Saturday. Not that long ago, Cal was 2 in the BCS, lost 2 in a row. Now trying to kill the Arizona State buzz. Sun Devils 4th in the BCS, host the Bears. First time in 6 seasons, USC is the underdog. Oregon favored by 3 to win in Eugene in the game against the BCS's 5th and 12th place teams. West Virginia back in the national title picture. 7th in the BCS. The Mountaineers are at Rutgers Saturday. That is noon on ABC. Our .com poll question of the night: which game is most likely to feature an upset
Number
this
1.
Saturday? Do you like Penn State? Do you like Cal? Do you like USC? Or do you like Rutgers? Those 4 would be your dogs. You log on later on. We'll tell you what you told us on this here program.
Question of the night, brought to you by the 7-passenger Mazda CX-9, winner of the 2008 Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year.
In the wake of the Tim Donaghy scandal, NBA referees and gambling are an awkward match for the same sentence. But in a situation that has nothing to do with Donaghy's felony, NBA Commissioner David Stern surprised a lot of people today. He not only acknowledged more than half of his 56 referees had violated league policies about casino gambling, but instead of punishing them, he's considering altering policy and allowing refs to gamble in casinos in the offseason as long as they're not betting in sports books. ESPN NBA analyst Jackie McMullen reacts with Jay Harris.
There's a big difference between what Tim Donaghy did and what these referees were doing. Think about it. You're on a cruise with your family, you wander down to the casino, you pull a slot machine, or maybe you throw some dice. That's a lot different than the charges against Donaghy. And if you want to punish the referees for that sort of behavior and want to follow the rule to the letter of the law, then you got a problem, because up to half of your referees are going to have to be punished.
Well, then why alter the policy at all?
Well, because I don't think David Stern's big on people breaking rules. So if you alter the rules and make them more specific and make it understandable what you're talking about, the kind of gambling that is prohibited, and some of it's obvious. Obviously, you're not supposed to bet on any kind of sporting games, particularly basketball games. That's common sense. But is there any harm? Does it impugn the integrity of an NBA official to go to a casino with his family and play a game of blackjack? I would say the answer to that is no, and apparently Stern feels the same way.
What does this statement or this latest news do to the NBA's credibility issue that it had after the Donaghy scandal?
Well, it certainly doesn't help the credibility issue, and I'm sure that there are plenty of fans who are going to have fun with these officials anyway. Now they're going to hear cracks about blackjack and doubling down and all the rest of that. But I've talked to a number of the referees over the months of this particular scandal. They're prepared for that anyway. They're pretty thick-skinned, or they wouldn't be in this job, and they're going to move on. Their feeling all along was this was one rogue official who tried to drag them into this mess, and believe me, he's not a very popular guy among those officials right now.
As it stands right now, the NBA prevents its officials from entering the gambling area of a casino or doing any betting at all except for going to the racetracks during the offseason. Still ahead on SportsCenter, 7 weeks into the NFL season, which head coaches' jobs are in jeopardy and who's done enough to get off the hot seat? Sean Salisbury weighs in. And Ray Lewis called out Adalius Thomas as a coward. Thursday, the All-Pro linebacker Adalius fired back at him, saying he went after his integrity. You cannot miss how all this goes down.
One man will master time to become the ultimate weapon. Time Shift this October, rated mature.
Want another word for temptation? Try chocolate. We all love it. But what if we couldn't have it? That was reality for people trying to eat less sugar. until candy companies partnered with Cargill to create a new generation of sugar-free chocolate. Our expertise in sugar replacers improved the taste and sweetened their candy sales by taking the sugar out and leaving the desire in. This is how Cargill works with customers.
Hey, did you see that game last night? Did you just question my fanhood in front of the ladies? Does your fanhood need questioning?
Watch more live sports online than ever before on ESPN360.com and never let them question your fanhood.
The Golf Channel's on Comcast. And with Comcast, you can get the Golf Channel anytime you want it, any way you want it. See the PGA Tour's best in stunning quality with Comcast High Definition. It's the closest thing to being there. Watch Golf Channel programming on your schedule with Channel 1 On Demand from Comcast. And with Comcast high-speed internet, you can enjoy news, analysis, tips, shows, and more at blazing fast speeds on the fan at Comcast.net. It's the best of Golf Channel on Comcast. For more information, call 1-800-COMCAST or visit Comcast.com/sports today.
Where did these famous people go after school? The same place that 3,000 youth in our area go, the Boys and Girls Club. So where do you go after school? Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeast Georgia, the positive place for kids and teens.
The home part of the San Diego Chargers home game this weekend is still a question mark. San Diego Mayor Jerry Sanders, who was supposed to make a decision today on whether Qualcomm Stadium, currently housing about 10,000 residents who've been evacuated from their homes because of wildfires, would be available for the game. Sanders did not make that decision, but did say that he believes the stadium could be ready for a game on Sunday. As the wildfires continue to rage in Southern California, so far causing about $1 billion in damages in San Diego alone, the San Diego Chargers, their team is actually in Arizona still. 46 members of the organization, including 20 players among them, had to evacuate their homes. As for the mayor, Jerry Sanders said he believes Qualcomm can be ready for a game on Sunday. It depends on what the NFL wants, he said. Quote, "We believe it could be played, but I think the NFL and Chargers have concerns. They're talking them out about air quality and about taking public safety personnel off the streets if this continues," this meaning the wildfires in the back country. 18-year NFL veterans don't get rattled, but easy to understand why Patriot linebacker Junior Seau cannot fully focus on the Redskins. Seau, who spent his first 13 seasons with